What's up, guys? It's Rob here. Welcome back to the next live stream that we're doing, and we have a bunch of stocks to talk about today. So let's start off by taking a look at the charts, and you can see we're going to be looking at DWAC, PROG, FAMI, and BBIG today. So it looks like we're still waiting to get the first viewers, but I will start talking about FAMI, Fami, because this one I know a lot of people on the channel are interested in, and maybe not a lot of people who are going to be joining the stream are interested in this one. So I will just start off talking about it in case you're watching this after the fact. But what we have been seeing with Fami is actually some really good news. We have been bouncing nicely off of this 30-cent level. We're now up above 40 cents, it looks like, or at least hopefully that's where we'll open, right? We still have a couple of minutes in pre-market before we actually start trading. We've already got about 12 viewers in the stream, so welcome, guys. Good to see you guys. KTZ says good morning. Good morning, you, KTZ. So yeah, we're going to start talking about Fami, and let me actually pull up the news for Fami because it has had some good news, and we covered it a little bit yesterday. But I will pull it up again. So let me just pull up Yahoo Finance real quick. They tend to have pretty good stuff. But basically, Fami is pumping up pretty massively, right? We were at 35 cents at close yesterday. Now we're opening above 40 cents, it looks like, hopefully. Over the next couple of minutes, we'll have to see. Unless it tanks, then it's looking like good news for Fami Stock. And if you are a long-time viewer of the channel, then you'll know I am invested in Fami Stock, as are many channel viewers. And we've got about 3 likes on the stream, about 23 viewers. Let's see if we can't bump that up a little bit just to get this stream out to a few more people. Let's see if we can do that. All right, while I pull up this Fami news. But basically, we were looking at it yesterday, and they had a showcase of some of their products. Here we go. Well, we can pull up the stock twits also for Fami. All right, nice. We got 7 likes. Let's see if we can't bump that up to 10. We'd only need about half the people in the stream liking the video to do that. We'll see. Yep, so here we go. Here's the news for Fami Stock. FAMI is the ticker for that. They basically just showcased their extensive product line and cultivates sales at major conference. Yeah, so this stock initially was pumping up massively on the news a while ago, about more than 30 days ago. I've been in this one for a while. It pumped up massively over here because of an expansion of their business model, an acquisition of a forestry company, and new partnerships for their supply chain. So it did end up pumping up a lot. That's when I ended up buying in. Hopefully, we've been waiting for a while to see Fami really run up. SpeedyG says, good morning. Thanks for being here. Thank you for being here, SpeedyG. This stream would be nothing without you guys, so I appreciate you guys joining me. I end up learning a lot from you guys as well in the comments, so if anyone ever has any insights on interesting stocks to look at, let me know in the comments, because I definitely learn a lot from you guys as well. So, yeah, you can see over here, very interesting Ortex data, right? A lot of shorts ended up getting in and then getting out of this stock. It looks like they made a somewhat significant profit, right? When this thing was up, maybe they were shorting mostly at, in the high 40s, and then it did end up dumping down to the low 30s. So they probably had a chance to get some profit, but it looks like they weren't interested in being in Fami Stock for the long term. Likely because they knew that after all the acquisitions that they had gone through, it probably wasn't going to go well shorting this company over the long term because they were most likely going to start an uptrend. So Giova says, yo, good morning, Giova. And Rolly says, LFG PROG. Yeah, PROG has been doing really well. Despite the fact that it is slightly lower than where it closed, it's really great pre-market activity that we've seen with it. You can see that we did break above $4 and even $4.50. We were at highs of $4.74 on that first bar of pre-market. So really good stuff for PROG. And, despite the fact that we are lower than where we closed at $3.99, I'm still really bullish, right? This pre-market looks really bullish for PROG, mainly because it shows the weakness in selling pressure, right? If sellers were really present, then PROG wouldn't be able to break above $4 in the way that it had all the way up to $4.70. You can see that it pretty much just shot up in after hours and then pre-market right here. And that's basically just showing selling weakness, the fact that there aren't enough ask orders to stop all the bids coming in. So, obviously once it had shot up to over $4.70, some selling did ensue as people were likely taking profits, because if you look back at the long term, or not even the long term, but just the past 10 days for PROG, pretty much everyone was getting in below 350 and, especially below 4. So over 4, there is going to be some selling pressure just because people are looking to take profits, but that's actually a good thing because those people will be cycling out and new people are buying up those shares. So now people have a higher cost basis and are willing to take PROG a little bit higher. Diddy WD says, hi from Tel Aviv. Wow, that is very far away. I wonder what time it is there, man. That's very far. All right, and we've got 32 viewers, 17 likes. Let's see if we can't bump that up to 20. Just get this out to a couple more people and get this chat really rolling. So if you guys are interested in seeing a stock in the bottom right, let me know, because I do have BBIG up there. I know that a lot of channel viewers might be interested in BBIG. However, if there's something you guys would rather see more, then feel free to put it in the chat. 1619, interesting. Military time. Let's see, that's 4:19. All right, nice. In the afternoon, I assume. Yeah, it must be if it's, yeah. Sorry, I'm not used to using military time, but wow, 4:19. Very cool. The market must be open mostly during the night for you then. Mostly during the afternoon. That's interesting. Yeah, wow, that's cool. But yeah, we're seeing really good stuff with PROG. I'm very excited about the pre-market. And, hopefully we're going to see a run up. Let me pull up the Ortex data for PROG, and I'll pull up some other stats for it. Let me also get Google Trends going, and we'll pull up the most popular stocks on Reddit. I like to look at those. Sometimes you find something new. But we will pull up the Ortex for PROG, see what's going on short interest-wise. Okay, here we go. So it looks like short shares are up a little bit because shorts were covering yesterday. We actually saw some shorts were covering. It's down to 51.99% short interest. But it looks like some shorts have come back. We're still at a very high utilization, 99.89. I actually made a video about PROG yesterday. I believe that, a lot of shorts, it looks like, ended up covering. And I was discussing this because it looks like PROG is starting to break out, right? A lot of shorts are probably getting worried, seeing PROG continuously bump up above $4, and they really don't want to be in this thing because most of the shorts were probably building up their positions when this thing was at $2, $3, and they're really starting to experience some pain from all those short positions that they've been building up because this thing just keeps moving up and up and up. All right, it's regular time here, not military. Interesting, Diddy WD. Interesting. What's your opinion on DWAC? Long-term potential, not looking for financial advice. I got you, SPDG. I'm still holding my DWAC, right? I got 150 shares. I bought them at 24.18, up 5K overall, and 289 on the day, it looks like, after, this little burst that we've gotten in pre-market. So I think that, long-term potential maybe. We'll have to wait and see what actually happens with, I think it's Truth Social. That's the social media app or platform that Trump is going to be releasing. So we'll really have to wait and see what goes on with that for the long-term potential on DWAC. But I definitely think there's short to mid-term potential as more people get involved in it. And let me actually pull up the market cap of DWAC and show you guys what I'm talking about. I do this in a lot of streams. I cover the same kind of statistic, but a lot of people, filter in and out of the streams. So I like to do it for the new people. Okay. Nice. So we've got 18 likes. Let's see if we can't bump that up to 20. We just need 2 more likes, get the stream out to a couple more people. All right. So Diddy WD says, I'm going today on Fami, Mark, PHUN, MetaX. Yeah, we'll take a look at Mark in the bottom right. Not too many people are interested in BBIG today, I suspect. Yeah, and Mark is also trending up alongside DWAC. So the reason that I think DWAC has such long-term potential, let me pull up the market cap. Hold on 1 second. So market cap right here for DWAC, $2 billion. $2 billion. And if you look at the share count, you can see that it's only 35.94 million shares, implied shares outstanding, right? That's what they've got. I'm horrible at selecting things, but 35.94, basically 36 million implied shares outstanding. So when you look at how many people actually voted for Trump, it's 74 million. And I'm not suggesting that everyone who voted for Trump is going to buy DWAC stock, but let's say 90% of those people just aren't interested in stocks, don't care about DWAC stock if they are interested, and have nothing to do with it, right? That leaves only 10% of the people left. Maybe 10% of people will actually end up looking into DWAC and buying it. That seems like a relatively low number. And that would mean that there's only enough shares if, 10% of these voters wanted to buy the stock. That's about 7 million of them, for them to buy about 5 shares each. So I really think that once we start seeing a bunch of retail pressure on this stock, and we already have, right? It already is 6 times higher than where it started just a little bit ago at $10. We can pull that up. It was at $9.95 at its lows, and it's already about 6x on that, right, at $59. So We already have seen a lot of retail pressure, but retail traders tend to be a little bit more skeptical of these stocks that have run up massively, and they were likely looking for some kind of a pullback opportunity. They don't just want to buy in when they see a stock has 10x or 17x in a day. So I think that a lot of people were wary of just getting into DWAC instantaneously, right? As you know, as the news was really breaking, a lot of people were hearing about it over these initial couple of days. And now that we have experienced a bit of a pullback, I think that that's when we can start to see a couple more retail traders getting in on this. So, yeah, I think that there is mid to short term potential for DWAC. That's why I'm still holding my shares. That's what I think about it. But nice, we have burst above 20 likes. Awesome, 24. All right, and I will pull up PHUN stock. I will replace Fami for a second because PHUN has also had an incredible pre-market. Well, fairly incredible, right? It closed around 434, and it looks like it's going to be opening above 5 as long as we don't dip down over the course of the next 5 minutes. We're going to have to see. It has been dipping over the past, most of the pre-market that we've been watching, right, since 9. But it could open above 5, right? So that's actually a fairly significant boost to their price. So PHUN is actually doing incredibly well, better than DWAC, which I did not expect, right? I typically think that DWAC is going to be performing a bit better than PHUN. Great analysis. Thanks, SBDG. Yep, thank you, man. Or you're welcome. All right, and Mark is doing pretty good also. It looks like it's trading very similarly. If you look at the charts, it looks like these pumps up in price are pretty much exactly aligned with each other on DWAC and MARK. So definitely trading in sympathy there. It was obvious, right? Because these are both Trump pump stocks. So that's likely how it's going to be for a lot of these. PHUN has been trading in sympathy with DWAC, but more so, right? It's actually up quite a bit more percentage-wise. DWAC closed around 59, and now we're at $60, so it's barely up. But it is nice to see that we haven't moved down in the pre-market. PHUN, however, is up fairly massively, right? Although it was down a lot more yesterday than DWAC was. It closed at 434, and now we're opening. It looks like hopefully above 5. I know a lot of people are holding it. PHUN is leading, says DDWD. Yep, that's right. It is. Yeah, it's up quite a bit, and we'll get a better look at PROG right here just to see what's going on. It looks like we'll hopefully be opening above 390. And we're going to have to see if we can go above 4, right? We saw last time in the pre-market right here, there was a lot of selling pressure over 4. We're going to see what happens when there's some more volume during the actual trading hours, if we can stay above that. Hopefully we can. We'll have to see. If you look at, Sean says, what about IRNT? We'll look at that in a second, but if you look at Reddit and Wall Street Bets, this is apewisdom.io, a site that tracks the top trending stocks on Reddit and Wall Street Bets. You can see Tesla's number 1, but PROG right here, Progenity, is number 2, up 30% mention-wise over the past 24 hours. We've got 941 mentions and 11,500 upvotes, which really makes it seem like it should be outranking Tesla. But I'm not sure why Tesla. I guess it's just mentions that they count here. So yeah, PROG is doing very well. A lot of people are looking at PROG. We can pull up the Google Trends data, but IRNT we will look at now. And DDWD says it's leading all the Trump shares. Yeah, PROG or PHUN, PHUN, is doing very well. And hopefully we're going to open above 5. We'll see. But IRNT, we can actually pull that up over the PHUN chart. Yeah, so this is a stock that we were looking at a while ago, IronNet. And it has actually been crashing quite a bit over the past 30 days. But I will pull up the Ortex data. We'll get that pulled up off screen. Right, we've got a lot of tabs that we moved over here. Whoops. All right, there we go. So Ortex for IRNT. Let's see what we have. I haven't looked at IRNT in a bit. And she be going to a penny soon, says Pop Squash. Yeah, I have a little bit of Shiba. I have a little bit. I sold most of it when it did pump up massively, so we'll see. Yeah. All right. Let's pull up this IRNT data real quick. It looks like a lot of shorts have covered just recently, right? It looks like either just a couple of days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, because this data is actually a little bit delayed. So it looks like a ton of shorts covered, and you can actually see maybe it's coinciding a little bit with when IRNT started to move up. So It seems like it should have moved up quite a bit more. However, maybe there was some kind of propaganda that was put out that I missed, which may have caused a lot of selling. So it maybe canceled out some of the shorts covering. But yeah, IRNT does not have nearly as high of a short float as it once did. It's only 12.37%. Still a fairly high utilization of 91%. Interesting. And only 0.55 days to cover. So we'll have to see what happens with it. But it is actually getting to a fairly low price. Back to around where it was trading initially at $10 back when it was a SPAC. So, yeah, this one could start moving up, right? The fact that it's getting back down to $10, I think that maybe a lot of shorts are covering because of that, because they don't see too much more potential in IRNT short wise, right? They don't think it's really going to. They don't think it's going to zero. That's for sure. It's a real legitimate company, so I don't think they're trying to short it down to zero. But now that it's getting back down to 10, it looks like a lot of shorts are exiting their positions. And we could be in for a swing upwards. So that could be a good swing trade to get in on. All right. So yeah, Shiba, we'll look at that. And Justin Kunai says 152,000 at 0.21 in Fami. Yeah, that's awesome, Justin. Wow. Yeah, let's pull up Fami. Because we were looking at that, yeah. And we're up over 40 again, up over 40 cents. So that's really good. We were watching this a little bit earlier today. We were hitting almost 50 cents, 49.7 cents we were hitting right there. So in early hours during the pre-market. So very good stuff that we're seeing with Fami. If we look over the past, I guess we got to do 90 days. Yeah, we're getting close to those old highs that we were reaching when we initially pumped up. So hopefully we can break above 50. That's what really held us down last time. I'm hopeful for it. I'm still holding my Fami shares. The daily had been looking good, says Sean, for IRNT. Yeah, the daily was looking good. The daily was looking good. It looked like over the past couple of days, actually, we'd just been moving up. So, yeah, especially with this burst in the pre-market. That's nice to see. Like I said, I was talking about the same kind of thing that we saw with PROG, which it looks like PROG is dumping a little bit. Unfortunately, DWAC is moving up. Mark is moving up. I'm guessing PHUN is moving up as well. But let's pull up PHUN. Yeah, so I completely missed the market open. I wasn't paying any attention to that at all. GNUS, why halted in pre-market, says Joseph Angelo. Or Agnello. Joseph Agnello. All right, let's take a look at GNUS. Let's pull that up. Even though PHUN is doing pretty well, right? We're moving above 5. We opened below, but are moving above in a fairly strong way. Okay. So, whoops. Don't know why it does that sometimes. GNUS. Okay. Halted in pre-market. Geez, it was halted. Yeah, I'm not sure why this got halted. Let's see. Halted ahead of positive news talks. Okay. News is pending. So it looks like we aren't sure quite yet why it was halted so long. Potentially because, this is a suspicion I had when I heard about the reason that GNUS pumped initially was because someone, I think someone said that there was going to be some positive, yeah, that's right. There was going to be a positive business development, right? The company was saying there was going to be a positive business development that they had to share some news about today. And that almost seemed kind of manipulative, right? The fact that it moved up so much off of that news, if you look at the past year, I mean, that's just a massive upshoot to not even know what the news was. It seems like the SEC might be worried that there's some kind of manipulation going on, that people are trying to pump the stock, because it is pretty vague to just mention the fact that there's a positive business development and then to have the stock pump up so much off of just basically no news, just news that there's going to be positive news later. So maybe it's gotten halted while they investigate something. I'm not sure. It looks like nobody's sure because news is pending, right? It says Genius Brands shares halted, news pending. So we're waiting to hear why they got halted, but we're going to have to see what happens. It looks like they may be trying to halt it ahead of the news, right? Whatever news is going to be there. But we'll pull up PHUN again. We will pull that up. So yeah, Manny C says, let's go, Mark. Anthony Gonzalez, PHUN is up. Yeah, it is. It is up 23%. Really good gain on the day. 25%. Anyone who's in this, congratulations, especially if you ended up getting in late yesterday. We've got it right here. Really good buys on PHUN. It did crash massively yesterday. And, it was my expectation that it would not be going up as much as DWAC. It looks like they're both up today, but PHUN is definitely leading the charge. However, it did fall much more than DWAC did yesterday. It was down, I think, 39% maybe at its lows. Let's see how much it was down right here. We can see it was down about 39%. So it was down quite a bit, but now it's making up for that, right? It's moved up quite a bit more than DWAC. If we look at both of those on the 5-day time scale, you can see PHUN is definitely doing better in the pre-market and even the actual trading. It's up quite a bit. So we'll zoom back in on those. Whoops. There we go. All right. Okay, and Mark is doing pretty good as well, up 4%, even though all of these look like they're taking a little bit of a tumble right now. All of them are seeing little red bars. Well, it looks like PHUN beat it. PHUN's still moving up. PHUN is doing pretty good. All right, and we've got 33 likes on the stream. Let's see if we can't bump that up to either 35 or 40. 40 seems ambitious, but we'll see what we can do with it. Maybe we can get 40 likes on the stream to get some more people in here. Yeah, so PROG is struggling a little bit. We're going to have to see. I mean, obviously, this isn't bad, right? The fact that we're at 385, definitely not bad news for PROG. We can pull up their Ortex data, and I'll show you guys that, as well as I meant to pull up their Google Trends a bit ago. But PROG is doing decently, right? Considering the fact that they have been trending down in pre-market. They did trend up massively in after hours yesterday, right? Right before after hours closed off, and then the pre-market bar, the first initial one that we got, was absolutely bullish. And since then we have been trending down a bit. However, we are likely to hold very strong, even if we do move down below this. We're likely to hold very strongly at 350. It's not a guarantee, and if we did break below 350, we've always got. Oh shoot, I got to zoom out a little bit more. We've always got 320 to maintain this level at. So I'm not too worried about PROG falling today, right? I think PROG is only having good news right now, unless they do some kind of offering. That's what we wouldn't want to see. All right, let's actually pull up the past couple of hours on PROG stock. Looks like the Google Trends data got a little bit messed up by a blip in their radar, right? You can see every now and then you have a massive spike up in search volume. This is most likely a glitch on Google's part. I wish they would let you remove this, because now it just kind of compresses everything else. But you can see that PROG is starting to trend up a bit. It's kind of tough to tell, though, with this massive spike up in search volume. So that's not the best when Google does that. Every now and then you get a bad PROG or a bad search result. So Jaden Lobstein says, is PROG going up or down today? Well, if I knew for sure, then I would be either buying or shorting, right? But it looks like PROG, though they're down about 1.88%, they're down a little bit on the day. It's still looking pretty good. What we've seen in the pre-market, the fact that they were able to eat up a lot of those ask orders above $4, that a lot of people have thus raised their cost basis and ended up buying shares above 4 is really good. You can see that there's some volume, right? Especially around here, when we started moving above 4, you can start to see, we'll pull up the volume chart a little bit more, a lot of volume, hundreds of thousands of shares traded each minute. So there is some significant volume that was building up a price above $4, right? So people are, they have a vested interest in getting this thing back above 4. So I do think that, I think that PROG will likely be moving up today, right? The fact that we're near all-time highs, and if you look at the Ortex data, you can see the short interest on PROG is 51.99%. And shorts were starting to cover yesterday, actually. You can see that shorts were starting to cover a little bit. Shorts are coming back in today, making up some of the losses that they saw in short interest, trying to keep this thing down, right? I think shorts are really panicking with this because there's a lot that could be pushing PROG up. There's a lot going good for PROG. If you look at apewisdom.io, it's one of the most talked about stocks on Reddit and Wall Street Bets, the most upvoted at least, right? 11,000 upvotes. Tesla has more mentions, but fewer upvotes. So people are very excited about PROG stock, right? It has way more upvotes. A lot of people are getting in on PROG. Tesla is an interesting one we might take a look at in a minute. But yeah, there's a very high utilization on PROG as well, 99.89%. So shorts are really running out of ammo with this. And if we do get above 4, I'll show you guys the options for PROG right here. There are 22,000 open interest call options at $4, and there's 25,000 at 3.5. I think that a lot of those have not been covered yet, right? Shorts or people selling those options, likely institutions, have not probably ended up buying all the PROG shares that they're going to have to buy because the strike date for that is November 19th. So as we get closer to that, and it's more certain that those are likely going to expire in the money, that's when we could really see some more buying pressure from institutions. But the more that we move up, the more likely it is that they'll be in the money at expiration. The sooner shorts will end up having to cover some of these call options that they've sold, and the more that we move up, obviously we're hitting 4 right now. The more that we move up, the more pressure that's going to put on actual shorts, short interest wise, right? These shorts here that we talk about on Ortex to actually start covering their positions as well. So PROG moving up is almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? The more it moves up, the more pressure there is to buy it from all these people who are bearish on it. So what's the word on Fami, says Shane Tripp? Yep, we've looked at Fami a couple of times. I'll pull it back up here. Right now, it looks like we're gaining some support at 40 cents. That's really good. But basically, we pulled up the Fami news. I'll pull it up again. They had a product showcase where they showed off some shiitake mushrooms and all that. You know what Fami's about. So that's the main news that we've got from Fami. Let me pull up the news right here. I just need to go to Yahoo Finance first. But Fami is doing pretty good. We are excited about Fami stock. I'm still holding my Fami shares. I've been holding them for a bit now. But you can see right here, just the headline's the important part. Fami showcases extensive product line and cultivates sales at major conference. So really good news for Fami. Obviously, the best news came a while ago when they acquired a forestry company, expanded their business model into the health and wellness industry, and gained some strategic partners for their supply chain. So that's what initially pumped us up. And I think you can also see with the short interest data on Fami, which I'll pull up right here, that a lot of shorts initially did short this thing when it was pumping up. However, I'll show you guys in just a second, just pulling it up. So a lot of shorts initially shorted Fami stock. We'll zoom in a little bit. When it did pump up massively, right? Shorts shorted it, and then they ended up covering, likely for a profit, right? You can see that they shorted it around here, and then it did dip down a bit, and they likely covered for a profit, so good for them. But they have been exiting their positions. I think they realized there wasn't that much further they could push Fami down because it was fundamental news, and it actually looks like shorts even today are exiting their positions. It's down. Short interest change is down 4.33%. So we have a very low short interest as a percentage of the free float, only 3.23%. Shorts don't seem to be too interested in Fami anymore. I think they realize that the news for the company is very fundamental, and that's likely why Fami is rising as well. We were hitting 49 cents, almost 50 cents earlier in the pre-market. So I'm bullish on Fami. I think that we can probably, start to continue this uptrend that we've been on the past 2 or 3 days. So I'm bullish on Fami. I think that we're going to keep moving up. That's the hope, at least. That's why I'm still holding my Fami shares. PHUN will ride again eventually. I think you mean rise again. But yeah, let's take a look at PHUN. It has been doing... Oh, it looks like it dumped a little bit. Yeah, since we last looked at it, PHUN has been dumping. Oh, that's not great. I'd like to see it above 5. We'll pull up DWAC. I need to disconnect this. Oh, yeah. Both of these have been dumping. PHUN is still up 11% on the day. Mark is down 3%. DWAC is down 1%. Not great, right, to see all that selling pressure. We don't want to see these dumping too much more, right? They've already dumped quite a bit. They're down about 50% from where they consolidated a little bit, right? You saw on this initial day they were around $100 for a couple of days right here. That was a good midpoint for them. And now they're down almost 50%, right? Getting to $50 would make it actually 50, but we don't really want to get down 50%. Kala Lilly says, good morning. Good morning to you, Kala. Good morning. We're having a pretty good day. Pretty good day with PROG at least, right? Despite the fact that we are down 2%, it looks like we're just testing $4, and we're hopefully going to continue testing it until we actually break through. Some of these other stocks, though, have been dumping a little bit. It looks like they're continuing to dump. We're down about 4% on DWAC. DWAC is down. PHUN is up, actually, 11.61%, just because we rose so much in pre-market. despite tanking a little bit since open. We're still up about 10% on PHUN. MARK down about 1%. So BBIG looks a small squeeze. Let's take a look at that. We'll replace PHUN with it. We'll see what BBIG is doing. Yeah, that's interesting. BBIG is starting to move up a little bit. 517. It's not rising the most that it could be. I don't know if that's a squeeze necessarily, or just if there's some buying pressure for it, or a bounce off of 5. Right? Oftentimes, as stocks get to their support levels, there will be bounces as traders pile into them, trying to collect a little bit of profit. So it wouldn't surprise me to see this rise die down. Obviously, it could continue. I'm not sure if this is enough pressure to actually start scaring out any shorts. Probably not. If it does continue for a while, though, then maybe we could see a bit of a return in BBIG. However, it could be a bit before we see BBIG rise, because the Tide dividend is not coming out for another 2 months. So I really think that this is the kind of play that we're going to have to sit and wait and watch for a while. Hopefully, it won't be tanking too much in the meantime, right? We don't want it to tank too much. We would like it to stay above 5, but it's understandable if it needs some time to simmer down, to just consolidate in a certain range. Hopefully that range is above 5, but it's the kind of play that you can't really worry about too much in the meantime, because no matter what it does right now, it's most likely going to start rising as the Tide dividend is coming closer and closer. So I'm not too worried about BBIG. I think that we're likely to see some good action with it in the future. Yeah, so looks like we've got 42 likes at the moment. Let's see if we can't bump that up to 50. We've got 50 viewers, so if everyone in the stream liked the video, then we would have 50 likes, and that could help get some more people in here. We could potentially get this chat rolling a little bit more, get some more ideas flowing in. That would be nice. We have 42 at the moment. We'll see if we can't get 50. I know most of you guys are the regulars, so you've already probably liked this stream. So we'll see what we can get. We got 43 now. But it looks like PROG is just starting to consolidate a little bit around 375 to 4. We formed maybe another little bit of a support at 475. It looks like we saw a little support in the pre-market as well, right? When we moved down, we quickly shot up above 475, and then on the first bar, we established that as support. So 475 could be another level to watch, right? Traders tend to like, and algorithms as well, tend to like these even though 475 is not, or 375 is not an even number. It's kind of a multiple of 5, so traders and algorithms tend to like that kind of stuff. So, you saw 350, 375 could be the next one, and that's really good, the fact that we are continuously finding higher supports. Hi, Rob. Any thoughts on CRTD, says JD Gaz? I'll pull it up. I'll pull up CRTD. That's the Trump NFT stock. So it was, I mean, obviously, you're up quite a bit if you bought 10 days ago, but I'm not sure a lot of people were. If you look at the volume, it's incredibly low. And it looks like volume has unfortunately died away for the most part, right? It's relatively small volume compared to what we saw. I'll pull this volume up a little bit so you can see we saw massive volume the day that it did initially spike. Somewhat subsiding volume the next day. Even less that day, and it looks like this. It's tough to even see. 116,000 shares and 96,000. So not much compared to the 500,000 traded yesterday, and even fewer than the 1.8 million traded the day after the big pump. So volume is subsiding, as has the price. It's good to see that we aren't dropping too far below 4. The fact that we are holding steady at 4 is nice. We'll have to see if that continues. Right, today we really are seeing much lower volume, so it could start to tank a little bit, which I don't like. But let's pull up CRTD and see if there's any news related to it that's coming out sometime soon. Okay, yeah. So they announced pricing of the registered direct offering 2 days ago. That's not good. That sounds like dilution to me. Let's pull them up. Let's see if we can get anything on Ortex, if there's any shorts on this. All right. So we see we now have a picture being painted for us of what's going on with CRTD. We can pull it up right here. Short interest is only at 14.52%, but it has increased today alone, 14.98%. So, and I'll explain this, right, because some people might be wondering, how has the short interest change increased by 14.98%, but the total is only 14.52%? So this number is not directly directly related to this number, right? It's an increase in how many shorted shares there are. So you could say have a 300% increase right here. And, that might equate to like a 10% increase in this if the short interest was very low initially. So the short interest change is what's the change in the short interest, right? So you could double it, you could triple it. This number is of the free float, how many shares are short. So you can have a maximum of 100 because you couldn't have higher than 100% of the shares being shorted unless there was naked shorting, which is, I believe, illegal. So maybe it's not illegal, but I think it's at least highly frowned upon if it's not. So yeah, that's what we're looking at with CRTD. It's looking like shorts are doubling down, basically. That's what I was trying to get across with the large short interest change. Shorts were coming in, and I will point out actually real quick that they do have a lot of ammo left, right? The utilization is only at 74%, so they could still short quite a bit more before this gets up to 100, and they run out of shares. But obviously, a lot of these stocks are suffering a little bit. A lot of these Trump stocks down 3.6% on CRTD, 3.32 on DWAC, and we'll continue going through the comments. So Mark Herrero says, "Hey Rob, could you please let us know your thoughts about CEI? Went down on volume. Any expected catalysts?" All right, so CEI. Yeah, I've been watching this one as well. Yeah, looks like it has been suffering. I guess we didn't watch it that much yesterday. We got distracted by some other things, but it looks like it broke below 140, which is not ideal, right? 140 is this range that we've typically traded in, that we established the day that they got shorted massively by Carousel Capital and that huge short report came out. That was a range that was established then, and you can see that we've tried breaking below and breaking above, but we oftentimes just return to this 140 to 180 range. That's where we ended up getting capped off when we tried pumping again. So the fact that we have broken below 140 can either mean two things, right? It can either mean that this is a great buying opportunity because we're likely to shoot back into it, or it can mean that we are breaking below this, that we have actually been struggling with it for the past couple of days, and it could be the final nail in the coffin, right? We are maybe potentially going to be moving below 140. The catalysts for CEI, though, I will pull up Zach Morris's Twitter. That seems to be the best catalyst that this stock has had going for it in the past, right? Zach Morris has had a massive influence on CEI stock. And you can see, I'll show you guys, the last time he tweeted about it, it did pump the stock about 14%, and that was not that long ago. I think that was this pump right here, I believe, when it moved from around 140 to 180. It was already on the move upwards, but Zach did pump it up a little bit more, right? And right now, I have Zach Morris's Twitter. I'll pull it up right here. You can see that he hasn't said anything about CEI lately. He's talking about, more lately, he's been talking about MYSZ and CNTX, it looks like. But he did say CEI at one point, so I'll search. And yeah, it's so long ago that he said it. It was a couple days ago, and he tweets a lot that it's not even pulling it up when you Control F for it. So unfortunately, it looks like he may have given up on CEI stock, which is unfortunate because his last tweet about it was saying that he wasn't giving up or something like that, that he was sticking around, that his convictions hadn't changed for it. But Joseph Angelo Agnello says, Zach says 5. Yeah, he has said 5. The problem is he's not tweeting about CEI anymore, which is what would really be helping the price, right? If he was continually tweeting about it, I think that we would be seeing a rise. But he did really, he likely got hurt last time when it did get shorted. So we'll zoom out a little bit more. So he likely got caught in this big short attack when Carousel Capital released that short report. He was probably on it. He probably exited before a lot of people, but he almost certainly lost a lot of the profits that he had gained over the past couple of days and weeks when they did that attack. So he mentioned it with a few more stocks. Cheers for that. Yeah, that's good. I couldn't find it, but I'm not the best at navigating Twitter, I'll admit. I tend to not use Twitter that much. So looks like PROG is up above 4. That's awesome right there. Nice. We were struggling with 4, and now we're above. And this is really good because it's actual trading hours, right? You can see there's significant volume, a lot of people buying above 4. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people selling. What we would actually like to see is ourselves maintaining above $4 with lower volume. And the reason is Right now, you can see there's massive volume. Likely, there has to be to maintain this above $4 level, as people are probably selling above 4. A lot of people are selling above 4 because pretty much everyone was buying below 4 for the most part. We did bump up a little bit yesterday for a short amount of time, but a lot of people were probably buying below 4, especially if you look at the past 10 days. Pretty much everyone was in below $4, and so people are likely taking profits on PROG, and that's why you're seeing a lot of volume there. But if we do start to subside in volume, that actually builds up the case for PROG being above $4 and having 4 as a support. And we are really shooting up at 433. That's awesome. Up 8% on the day. This is exactly what we want to see. Shorts are probably very nervous about this. This is perfect for PROG stock. You can see it's still number 2 trending on Reddit and Wall Street Bets. The Google Trends data is kind of crud right here. You can't really tell much from it because of that big spike, but I'll try to find a better view for it. But we are doing very well with PROG. I'll pull up the Ortex, and maybe we'll see some shorts starting to cover. Maybe we'll see some shorts panicking and trying to build up their short position. It looks like not much has changed on Ortex. You can see that it's still the same 2.43% that we were looking at just a minute ago. But this is really good stuff that we're seeing with PROG. The fact that we are up above 4 in a significant way on significant volume, very nice. That's what we like to see with PROG. So, James Wyrostek, any thoughts on MARK? Yeah, so this is just basically trading. I'll pull up PHUN as well. This is basically just trading in sympathy with DWAC and PHUN. All these Trump stocks are basically just trading according to the same pattern, basically like a cryptocurrency. Obviously, some tend to move more than others, right? Some are a little bit more volatile. It looks like PHUN is pretty volatile. MARK is a bit less, right? It's very in line with DWAC. And really, I think DWAC tends to be the tip of the spear for these stocks, right? I think that it's the one that moves up first and the one that moves down first. I think that people are basing their moves off of DWAC since this is the one that initially pumped up very high and is the one that's actually going to be merging with Trump media. So I think that it's really leading the charge with these. So I think that a good indication of where Mark and PHUN are going can be gained from watching DWAC. Although I will mention that PHUN is up on the day while DWAC and MARK are down. However, it has followed a very similar pattern, right? It's just a more volatile pattern. It's moved up a lot more in pre-market when DWAC was moving up in pre-market, and has also moved down fairly significantly during the actual trading hours, as has DWAC, right? So PHUN is an interesting one, right? It has a much lower market cap. We can pull that up. We can pull up DWAC's market cap as well and Mark's market cap. We'll pull up all of those, and you guys can see MARK actually has an incredibly low market cap, even compared to PHUN. But let me get DWAC here real quick. Let's pull that up. Nice, and we got to 50 likes, guys. That's awesome. Thank you guys very much. PROG Dog is the best hog, or the boss hog. Yeah, PROG is doing really great. We've seen a little bit of a pullback, but obviously not every bar can be green. We saw like 10 or 12 green bars in a row right here leading up to this massive rally. So really good stuff on PROG. Most of the bars today have been green. That's very exciting. Yeah, the fact that we're above 4. And I will pull up. Let's unlink this. The 22,000 open interest call options are now in the money for $4. So that's only going to aid PROG's ascent, right? The fact that there are all these additional call options that are now in the money, 22,000. Maybe we can get to 450, right? It looks like market makers might need to start adding more strike prices. It looks like they did actually. They just today added the 750 strike price, which has zero open interest, a lot of volume. Obviously, this open interest number hasn't quite updated yet because there is volume. Some people are surely holding these. But when we looked at this in our last video yesterday, the lowest or the highest that it went was 550 as a strike price. So a lot of people are obviously interested in PROG options, and market makers know that. They want to sell them to them. So they have added more strike prices, and they understand that PROG might be moving very high, right? If you look at the past year, I'll pull that up for 1 second. We were up at $8.20 just a year ago. So there really is some potential with PROG. The fact that we are now breaking, we obviously knew $4 was going to be a somewhat significant level to break. And I'll show you guys. If you look at that, you can see it was major support for the stock in the past, as well as major resistance for the stock in the past. So $4 is especially important. And it's great to see that we are holding above that fairly well, right? That's really good to see with PROG. So great news for PROG stock. Joseph Agnello says, CXDC, what's going on? CXDC, let's see. I have not looked at this stock yet, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to tell you what's going on instantly. I might need to look into it for a minute, but CXDC, it looks like major volume has come in. And we have been rising quite a bit. 10 days ago, we were at 40 cents. Now we're at $1.35, highs of $2.12 in the pre-market. That seems to be a trend with a lot of stocks these days. They saw massive pre-markets. Okay, so it was higher at one point. Let's see, CXDC. I'll try to figure out what's going on with this one. Okay, it looks like they were halted at one point. And not seeing any company-specific news to justify the price action in low float stock. So it looks like it's just traders being traders. So no news on this. No news, at least says some of the analysts. But they typically scour the internet pretty hard to see if there's anything that could be pumping this up. It's likely just either some whales getting together, trying to create hype for this stock. And you can see, over the past couple of days, it has been moving up a bit. So yesterday we saw a big run up. And, potentially it's just a very low market cap stock that's easy to run up. We can actually see it right here, $86 million market cap. So very low. This could obviously run up a bit more if there is significant buying pressure for it, right? Because $86 million is an incredibly low market cap. So we definitely could see higher prices with CXDC. Yeah, that could be good. That could be good. And Jason Cropper says, thanks for the intel and PROG. You're welcome, man. It's really exciting stuff that we're looking at. Really good stuff, especially with the options, right? The options are the most promising thing right now. Although the shorts are starting to experience some significant pain, right? Above $4. This thing, if you look at the year, looks very dangerous, right? 4 was a major support and resistance level in the past. The fact that we're breaking above 4 is really great stuff. So we're going to have to watch it closely. Obviously, shorts will do anything they can to keep this thing down. They'll try to keep it below 4. They're going to try and manipulate it in some way, most likely. They'll probably put out some kind of propaganda, get people worried that they're going to be diluting or something like that. And we'll just have to keep a close eye on it and see what happens. So, yeah, but it's looking very bullish at the moment, right? We're I think, are we at all-time highs intraday? It looks like we just made a new intraday all-time high at 442. So, yeah, the highest we'd been prior to that was around 430-something, 435 maybe. New all-time intraday high. So I'm not counting the pre-market and after hours. New all-time high during actual trading hours. Very impressive. Pretty much everybody's making money on this, at least if they're long on it. So that's really good. Snowdrift 40 says, looks like CXDC was going to be delisted as of mid-September. They appealed. Who knows? Yeah, that's interesting. And it looks like, if they were going to be delisted, I believe that would be because they were trading below $1. It looks like now they have started trading above $1. So I think that might make the appeal unnecessary, potentially. I'm not sure why they were going to be delisted. But oftentimes it is because the stock is trading below $1, right? The market makers, for some reason, don't like penny stocks that much. And Don says, good morning, Rob. Do you believe it better to always buy the dip or the rips? I heard buying the rips help to drive the price up. Yes, so buying the rips definitely helps to drive the price up. However, unless you're a massive whale and you have a ton of capital, it's not going to help that much because we only have a very limited amount to trade with, right? When you look at the rips, let's look at DWAC as an example for this. About 10 days ago, right there. So you can see this thing was really taking off massively, but it was taking off. If you look at the volume on these 10-minute candlesticks, this is each 10 minutes these shares are being traded. You're looking at 5.8 million shares in 10 minutes being traded. 16 million, 15 million, 11 million, 16 million. So a ton of shares being traded on these massive pumps up. So in the sense that you or I buying the stock is going to really have a significant impact on the price, probably not, right? Unless we're talking about, buying tens of thousands of shares of something. That's what we would really need to see to have a massive impact on the stock price, or any impact that's noticeable at all, really. So while buying the rips, if everyone does it, does help drive the price up. That's what actually drives the price up. The fact that a lot of people are buying at the same time, or that some big buyers are coming in with massive orders, that's what helps drive price up. but buying the dips tends to be a better strategy, I think, if you want to make money yourself, right? Because buying the rip, sometimes it can be good, right? That's what I actually did with DWAC. It depends on the catalyst. But, in the situation where DWAC has already gone to 175 and is starting to subside, I think it might be better to buy the dip than the rip, because when it was moving up again, maybe you bought at 120 right here and then it just started dipping again. You could actually get a cheaper price later on when some of the momentum is faded away. I tend to think it ends up being better buying the dips just because a stock only dips for so long and it's tough to pick the bottom. So you're likely, to be in a downtrend for a bit. It depends on how long you're looking to hold the stock. If you're looking to hold it long term, then I think the dips tend to be better. If you're looking for maybe a little scalp, right? If you're only going to be holding a couple of minutes, then it can be good to buy a rip, right? Because say you're buying in right here. If you buy in when you notice it's pumping up at 58.69, then you can sell just a couple minutes later for 61. It really depends on the time frame, though. So that's what I think. All right, we've got a lot more comments. So August says they were on non-compliance. Interesting, Snowdrift. Interesting. So Shiba coin could be going to lose a zero tonight, starting to explode. Yeah, let's take a look at Shiba Inu. I do hold some Shiba Inu coin. Let's go to coin market cap. Let's pull that up. Yeah, it looks, wow, things are getting really interesting with Shiba Inu coin. Let me pull this up for you guys. It is now just one spot behind Dogecoin. It may overtake Doge, and that would be big news for it. If it overtook Doge, it's up 32% over the past 24 hours. Doge has a $31 billion market cap, and Shiba Inu has a $24 billion market cap, so it doesn't need to rise that much more. Just about maybe another 30% increase, and we could see it beating Doge market cap-wise. That would be devastating for a lot of Doge holders. I know Doge holders tend to not like Shiba Inu coin holders. I hold both. I don't discriminate with my cryptos or my stocks. I'm not too worried about that. I'm worried about what's going to give me the highest return, so I tend to hold both. But it looks like we have been just soaring up over the past little bit. We're going to see how high this can go. It's very interesting. A lot of people are making a lot of money on Shiba Inu coin, obviously. So that's really good for them. Dogecoin holders, I'm a Dogecoin holder. I actually have more Doge than I have Shiba Inu, but yeah, I'm just going to hold both, see what happens with them. Been loading on the dips pre-market and PROG. I'll get rid of this chart for a second unless we start talking about Shiba Inu coin. I'll bring the charts back, but buying all sub 57 dips on DWAC as well. Nice. Yeah, it looks like we're below 57 right now. So, hopefully we won't go too far below 50. That wouldn't be ideal, right? We would at that point have lost about 50% of the value from around where we averaged out on this massive day that we had, and then the day afterwards we had about $100 average right there. If you look, a lot of the volume was on both sides of $100, so there was big volume above, big volume below. We're gonna have to see what happens with this, but ideally we wouldn't be dropping 50%, right? We don't want to drop down to 50. And you can see that we actually saw a bit of resistance at $50 on the initial pump up. So 50 could be a support level. I'll draw that line right here for you guys. 50 could be a support for DWAC. However, it's yet to be seen, right? We don't actually know if that's going to work out or not. I'm hoping that 50 can be the ultimate support for this. We can start moving up. Yeah, Jason Cropper says correction on DWAC needs to find new support. Yeah, hopefully 50 is going to be that. I hope. We'll see. And Ambition 2020 says, yes, let's go Shiba. Yes, Shiba dropping to zero by Friday for sure. Yeah, Shiba, we were just looking at. It's doing incredibly well. Very possible that it's going to overtake Doge, right? Very possible. Will it ever get to 1 cent? We'll see. It's not that far off. If it drops at zero, then it only needs to drop two more before it's just at a cent. So it's not far off. It's really tough. I almost wish that it wasn't such a small price, right? Because this is kind of tough to talk about. 0.006 cents is a strange number to be discussing. But yeah, we're looking at really good stuff with Shiba, up 31% on the day, 119% over the past 7 days. I'm curious. I sold most of my Shiba, unfortunately. I sold most of it for like a 200% profit because I saw what happened with Dogecoin in the past. I saw it pumped up massively and ended up not wanting the same thing to happen with Shiba Inu. And I sold early on Doge. I sold early on Shiba, but I made a massive percent profit and a massive, gain profit, at least on Doge. Not as large on Shiba Inu coin. I only ended up putting a couple $100 into Shiba Inu. Wish it had been more, but are you guys buying PHUN on this dip right now? I'm unsure. So let's look at PHUN, PHUN. Yeah, it looks like it's dipping quite a bit, but it's actually up on the day, up 4.8%. So not nearly as bearish as it was yesterday, right? Yesterday, it was definitely outperforming DWAC in terms of how bearish it was. It was down about 39% on the day. DWAC was down about 20-something percent, but the tides have turned. Right now, PHUN is up, and DWAC is down 10% on the day. Not great stuff. It is just crashing, basically, right? Which we don't like to see. If we look at our profit and loss statement, we've lost about $855 on the day. We're holding 150 shares that we bought at $24. So still a 4K profit on that. Not as much as it once was. Hopefully that will rise again, right? We're hoping. Not too worried about it, though. There's basically no chance that I'll be losing money on DWAC. So I'm not too worried about it. All right. New is taking off, says Sean. Let's take a look at New. PROG, it looks like, found a little bit of support at $4, I will point out. We found a little bit of support at 4, and we're starting another bounce up potentially. Hopefully we are. Ideally we wouldn't drop below 4 because that's what we did yesterday. We pumped up above it for a little bit and then drop below. Hopefully we won't drop on PROG, but it looks like New is soaring today. Yeah, up 85% on the day. It's an ADR, so foreign stock. Interesting to see. And yes, JF, I will talk about Fami in just a second. Let me just quickly figure out what is going on with New. So let's see. It doesn't look like there's too much news, at least there. So New, let's find it on Yahoo Finance, see if there's anything. Yeah, nothing that we're really seeing on New stock. So no news potentially, but it's this is something that we've seen with a couple other small market cap stocks. This market cap is very low, 95 million. So it's very possible that this is just another push, another pump and dump kind of thing. If you look at the past year, we have been dumping massively, and every now and then we do have a little spike up in price. This one looks a bit more significant than those of the past, but to be fair, this is the lowest market cap that this thing has had in a while. So it's much easier to push this thing up now that it's so cheap, right? Now that it was at one point trading below 50 cents, pumping up to $1 isn't that tough when the market cap is only under 100 million. New just halted, says Sean. Yeah, it looks like it is at 109. Got halted 2 minutes ago, it looks like. Yep. So yeah, for Fami, JF, let's look at Fami. Fami has been doing really good. Looks like we are still finding support at 40 cents. But we were up at 49 just earlier today, and I am still holding my Fami shares. I'm very bullish on Fami stock. I'll pull up the Ortex data on it and talk about that for a second. But Fami has been doing incredibly well ever since they announced the acquisition of a forestry company. This is way back here, about 40 or so days ago. They acquired a forestry company. They expanded their business model into the health and wellness space, and they found some strategic partners for their supply chain. So that's what pumped up Fami so much. And since then, they have been subsiding a little bit in price. If we can actually see why, right? We can see that there were a significant amount of shorts who got in on Fami right around when it pumped up massively. And those shorts eventually covered and did make a significant profit, right? They were probably shorting mostly around above 40 cents and then covering in the low 30s, so they made a significant profit. But now shorts really have covered a lot of their Fami positions, right? Shorts, even today, the short interest is down 6.29%, so shorts are getting out of this. And this is on news. I can find it right here. But I think they just had a product showcase that was very impressive at some events. So yeah, right here we can pull it up. Fami showcases extensive product line and cultivates sales at major conference. So they have been doing pretty well, just touting the stock and their products and getting people to buy in. And that's what's pumped us up above 40 cents. Now, hopefully we're going to break 50 cents over the coming days. You can see we tested it in pre-market, but we didn't have enough volume. We didn't have enough buyers. This was a strange time to be testing at 4:30 in the morning. We're going to hopefully be holding support at 40 cents, right? We don't want to see a drop below 40. It's too late to get into Fami now. It's not too late. I've gotten it. I was in at a higher price actually. So I don't have the Fami position on this account. This is more of a day trading account than a long-term account, but it's on my Robinhood. I think I was in at maybe 45 cents, and I've just been holding because it was fundamental news that changed the company, and I wasn't willing to miss out on the potential gains that we're going to see. I could see us getting above 60 at some point. This isn't financial advice. I'm not telling anyone to buy the stock. I'm just telling you guys why I bought it and where I think it's going, but I do think we are moving up, right? I think that obviously we were going to see price subside a bit, as shorts piled into it, and as the hype wore off a little bit. But it seemed to be a good fundamental change in the company's business model, though we are tanking a little bit right now. So that's something to watch out for. Yeah, we are tanking a little bit. Maybe we'll find support at 37. Maybe we'll shoot back up. We'll have to keep a close eye. Let's see. Katrina Salazar, should I buy a bunch of DWAC while it's in its 50s? Not a bad price considering where it was at the past couple of days. How high it was. The 50s might be the lowest that we go because you can see that on its initial pump up day, 50 was actually resistance for a bit. So it's likely that 50 could act as support. That's not guaranteed though. So potentially we could be hitting 50. We'll have to see. But this thing has been subsiding. It's down about 7% on the day. It was down about 20-something% yesterday. We're still in a little bit of a downtrend right now. We're going to have to wait for the next momentum to come in for, probably a big catalyst. Hopefully Trump will talk about this thing and get it moving. But we're going to have to wait to see. So I can't tell you if you should buy it at 50. I bought at 24. You can see my account. I bought at 24.18. But 50 is not the worst place, right? A lot of people are buying much higher, and it depends on if you want to hold this over the long term or if you want to get rid of it quick, right? Maybe you want to wait until you start to see some momentum in it before you enter, but that's up to you. That's off your risk tolerance. So new has been exploding, says Sean. What's up with that? Seems like no news, but I could be missing something. Yeah, so we saw there was another stock today that we looked at that was a lot like new, NEW. And I forget exactly what it was. I forget what the ticker was. But basically the reason, sometimes these stocks pump up a lot is because I will pull it up right here on Yahoo Finance. Right here, you can see they are very low market cap. So $88 million market cap on new. That's incredibly low. And it's very easy for some whales to come in on new and just start pumping the stock up, right? If you actually look over the past couple of days, you can see that we have been rising somewhat significantly. And when other traders start to see that kind of momentum, they like to all pile in. And that's why you can see there's massive volume today, right? As we opened fairly high at around 70 cents, a lot of traders started to pile in on this dip right here. And that's likely what was driving this up. I don't think it's news that came out for new. But lately, over the past couple of days, it seems like a couple of these very small market cap stocks have just been getting pumped. And Sean says it's been in a halt for about 5 minutes. Yeah, so it looks like it was halted at 10:05. Or actually, let's pull up the 1 minute and we'll see. It was halted at 10:09 to 10:14, and now at 10:15 it's been halted again. So yeah, that'll likely last until 10:20 unless it's a 10-minute halt. Okay, and we've got 62 likes on the stream. Let's see if we can't bump that up to either 65 or 70. We've got 63 likes already, so let's see what we can do if we can't get some more people in this stream by bumping up the likes. And Stephen Owinski says, starting to see chatter about announcements forthcoming tomorrow. Read Trump-based stocks. I'm loitering on the DWAC sale aisle patiently. Yeah, that's exactly what we want with DWAC. Hopefully, people have been talking about Trump rally for a while. About him pumping this thing up, but we've yet to see it, so I will believe it when I see it, but I am hopeful. I'm still holding my DWAC shares. For those of you who are new to the stream, I'm still holding those. Very hopeful on DWAC, right? I think that this really could explode quite a bit. When you look at the market cap for DWAC, I'll pull it up right here. It's still fairly low. Not as low as a lot of stocks. It's at 1.9 billion. But when you look at other stocks that have just been pumped up for basically no reason, right? They're catalysts, like AMC, not no reason. Really, the short squeeze was, pretty vital to the pump up on AMC for that. But if you look at AMC's market cap, it's much, much higher. And really what ended up pumping up AMC a ton wasn't the short squeeze, it was just the momentum and so many traders getting involved in it. So we could really see much, much higher prices with DWAC stock, I think. Just based off what we've seen with momentum in the past. I think that DWAC is looking very promising. So, hopefully we'll see it moving up. It looks like, there are a lot of stocks that people are getting interested in right now, like new. It has been halted. As we saw with DWAC, that can often kill a stock off, unfortunately, right? DWAC got killed on its big run-up. For those of you who weren't watching back then, we were watching this thing live on this massive day that they were having where they were running up huge, and we watched all of these halts just destroy the stock. So we'll have to keep an eye on new. Hopefully the same thing will happen to it. Okay, Joseph Agnello says agree. Yeah, is that says it in all caps? So it almost looks like a ticker symbol, but also it's not. Ambition 2020 says I'm still on crutches from DWAC halts. I'm good. Yeah, yeah, those halts were horrible. I mean, I think we were headed much higher had it not been for the halts, and the halts really did kill it off. Who knows how high we could have gotten? It seemed like there was just so much demand and no supply. We really could have gotten very high. I think that a lot of people were just going to hold that thing. And people were not getting disheartened until the halts kicked in and they saw it drop massively. And even a couple of times over here, around 10 and 11, it got halted when it was starting to rise again. So it was a tough situation. It didn't really have the potential that we thought it did because of the halts. So that was unfortunate to see. But it looks like PROG is still holding fairly well, and it looks like we're trending up again, potentially going to be making new highs. We're a little bit off, right? We're trading around 428, very close to 420. I missed when it was trading at 420, but now we're at 428, and we just need to get up to 442 to make 443 actually to make new all-time intraday highs. So we are not that far off. It would not be that difficult, and this is exactly what we want to see with PROG actually, right? We want to see volume subsiding a bit above $4 because that's actually showing a decrease in selling pressure, right? Above $4, the fact that we're able to stabilize there on slightly lower volume, the fact that it's not just being maintained by massive buying pressure is actually very good. That means people think this is a fair price for the stock. So that's exactly what we wanted to see with PROG. The fact that it's able to consolidate above 4 for this amount of time is hopefully going to encourage some more people to be buying in. Obviously, a lot of people are buying the stock above 4 right now, and a lot of people are selling it. If you look at the volume, it's still somewhat significant, still hundreds of thousands of shares trading each minute. But obviously, people are building a cost basis above $4 now, so that's very good for the stock. And hopefully, Fami hits 0.44 again today, says Ambition 2020. Yeah, let's take a look at Fami. It was dipping last we saw. Okay, but now it's coming back a little bit. That's good to see. That's good to see. It looks like the lowest it was able to get wasn't even down to this 37 support. It only got down to around 38, and then it bounced off of that. So hopefully we can regain 40 cents. I'm still holding my Fami shares. I'm hopeful for that one. I'm hopeful for Fami. And that's even more of a long-term play, right? I think that they're doing great things with the company. Fundamentally, they've made some acquisitions, some strategic partnerships, and expanded their business model, and very low market cap. Great thing to be in on early, right? $112 million market cap. So definitely this thing is pumpable, especially if we start moving up. I could see us getting to a high enough price that we're not even justified fundamentally yet. And that might actually be a selling point, right? If we start to see a lot more momentum and can actually break maybe 50 cents, maybe 60 cents, then I could see some more traders just piling into this with the hopes to actually just get in on the momentum. That would be ideal with Fami, right? And then, you could potentially be exiting your position for a big premium and getting back in after it subsides. So that's what I would hope to do with Fami. Otherwise, I'm happy holding it for the long term. If there's just a slow bleed up, I'm not going to complain about that either. Not going to complain about that. Nice, guys. We did get 70 likes, so thank you all very much for liking the stream. That's much appreciated. And if anyone's watching who hasn't subscribed to the channel yet, feel free. We do these market live streams every weekday starting at 9, so feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're interested in that. It's great to have the community here, right? Because a lot of these comments that you guys are putting out, I would not have heard of these stocks otherwise, like new. And it's interesting to see stocks like this because sometimes you catch them really early and you can get in on them before they've pumped up massively. And we've also learned a lot about Trump pump stocks, right? Like PHUN. I didn't necessarily learn about that from the comments, but other stocks like Mark, I did. So very interesting. We have Mark right here, which is continuing to trade, it looks like, alongside DWAC. You can see that as DWAC moves up, so does Mark. So we're going to have to keep an eye on these. Hopefully, we'll be regaining $60 on DWAC. Hopefully, this will be a green day. It would be great to see us not even getting to $50 as the support, right? We don't necessarily want to touch that support because that could dishearten some people. Ideally, we would just start trending up, right? But it's understandable that we need some time to consolidate, and it's great to see that we have slowed down a little bit, right? That we're not just in a free fall, but that we've actually started to consolidate after hours pre-market, and even during the trading day that we have been down a little bit. The fact that we're coming back now is really good to see with DWAC. So we are watching this very closely. JF says, Fami sounds interesting. I'm going to hold. Yeah, Fami is an interesting one. I'm holding it. I'm hoping that we could be getting above 50 cents sometime soon, right? The momentum on it looks promising. So I'm holding this for two reasons. One, it is improving the company fundamentally, right? The company has been getting better. If you've been keeping up with their press releases, they've been doing good things for the company. That's why they initially pumped up so much over here. And, obviously since then they subsided a little bit because there's oftentimes a little bit more hype built into the price of the stock than the fundamentals justify. However, on this continuation of good news, right, the fact that they are continuing to have good news for the stock, we can show it right here. For those of you who haven't watched, they did just showcase their extensive product line and they cultivated sales at a major conference. So the underlying, right, the fundamentals of Fami are getting better and better. And as shorts realize that, you can actually see shorts have been exiting their positions in droves, right? Shorts have been getting out. Even today, we're down 5.73% short interest-wise. So I'm hopeful for Fami. And like I said before, oftentimes the momentum and the hype can overprice the price of a stock. So I would be willing to exit my Fami position if I did see a massive spike up in price with the hope that it would then subside back down, right? Obviously, it would be disappointing to exit and then see it continue soaring. But I would be ready to exit above 60 cents, right? On the hopes that it would then move back down to 50 and I could get back in cheaper. That's my plan for Fami stock. It's going to be tough to time that perfectly, but we'll see what we can do. So D-Ron says, new meme coin came out yesterday, Rob. It's called Dinger, named after Elon's cat. I think it's the next SHIB. Load the bag, boys. Get in early. I wonder. Let's see if we can't find it on CoinMarketCap. That's interesting. Thank you for pointing that out. I love when people let me know that kind of stuff in the comments, right? Those really interesting niche, very early plays. So let's see. Dinger token. All right, we've got it on Coinbase. Interesting. I didn't even know Elon Musk had a cat, but the market cap is only $47 million. So over the past year, did it just start trading? Looks like it just started trading today. Wow. Okay. Just started trading today, it looks like. At least that's all Coinbase market cap has access for. Oh, wow. Let's see. Let's pull up a story on Dinger token. Oh man, the first link is CoinMarketCap. Dinger token news. Let's see if there's anything about that. Oh man, this is very new stuff, it looks like. So yeah, looks like it just debuted today. Not many people have even written about it. Each Trump stock is practically identical and moves up down like an overlay, says Stephen Osinski. All right, yeah, no, that's true. And I'll pull up PHUN as well. It's almost like how cryptos trade, actually. If you've noticed how cryptos tend to all trade together with very similar price action, that really shows you what's in control, right? The algorithms are in control, it seems like. Okay, yeah, so there's really not many stories written about Dinger token yet. I'm not even sure where this can be traded. I'm not sure what it's listed on. So we'll have to see. If it's listed on Webull, I'll pull that up. I'll see. Maybe I can get into Webull. So we'll see. Maybe on Webull you can trade Dinger token. I'm hopeful because I would be willing to put some money into that. It does seem like it's the kind of thing with a little bit of pump potential, but I'm not sure. The fact that it's just now trading today makes me think that it might not be trading on Webull. Yeah, no matching results for Dinger token. That's unfortunate. If it was on Webull, I would be considering buying it. So, Ambition 2020, I was going to say Trade it for quick profit. News on it does look like a hold. The Fami may actually bull run before the year's over. Yeah, it may. I am bullish on Fami, right? I think, I would consider kind of doing a mixture of what you were talking about, Ambition. I was mentioning this earlier. I was considering, holding this thing. If it hits 60 on a big pump up, I would probably sell around 60 and hope for a revision down to maybe 50, maybe 45, and re-enter my position there, and then start holding more for the long term. But I definitely think, we've seen it in the past with Fami Stock that it does pump up a lot and then has started moving down ever since this good news has started coming out. So, it does pump up massively. Then it subsides a little bit. I think we could be seeing a similar thing right now. Hopefully we'll end up with a green day today. Is there a price target on Fami? This is Red Pill Merch. So my price target on Fami, I was just discussing this, is I would like to hold Fami, right? I'm holding Fami right now. I'd like to sell some, probably at 60 cents, right? Not expecting that to be the end of Fami's bull run, but I would expect that to be a bit of resistance for it. And for then, likely, it might subside a little bit down to maybe 50 cents, get back in there. That's my goal. And then over the long term, who's to say? Because if you look at Fami Stock, let's find their market cap. Let's go back to Fami right here. Still a very low market cap on this stock, $110 million. And for those of you who have not been following this channel and don't know the videos that I've made on Fami in the past, I'll just explain what's gone on with their business. Basically, around here, this massive pump up was due to their acquisition of a forestry company and thus an expansion of their business model. They also expanded it into the health and wellness space, and they made some strategic partners for their supply chain, right? So they basically just made massive improvements to their business. And then even more recently, they just had a great showcase yesterday, showcasing their extensive product line and cultivating sales at a major conference. So Fami is doing very well fundamentally lately, it seems. They've had a lot of deals go very well. They sell shiitake mushrooms, if anyone wasn't aware of that. So I am very hopeful on Fami over the long term, right? So I'm looking to hold Fami long term. However, over the short term, they can definitely, I could see, have the potential to be pumped up a little bit higher than they are worth at the time and have little pullbacks. So I'd be looking to play into those pullbacks, right? By selling high and buying low if they did end up pumping up to 60. I think that would be a likely resistance for them. I'm not saying for sure. Ambition 2020, I'm buying this Dinger. Thanks. I love Elon. Whoa, hey Rob, this Dinger token is above Shiba already, dropped to 0. I'm trying to find a way to buy it. If anyone knows how to buy, do tell. Yeah, I'm curious, Ambition, as well. I also want to know how to get in on Dinger token. Likely on Binance you could do it. But, it tends to be the people who are rewarded who end up finding those niche ways to buy these cryptos because once they're available to the mainstream is piling into them and they pump up a bunch. So, it really is, and this isn't financial advice or anything, but I've noticed it's almost a sure thing way to make money, to get in on these little niche cryptos before they're really available on mainstream platforms like Webull or Coinbase. And, just buy into some of them then when the market cap is very low. And, eventually when they get listed, you can sell out for a big profit. I have noticed that I haven't actually bothered doing it myself just because it seems kind of tedious dealing with those crypto platforms and almost a little sketchy. So I haven't done that yet, but I might do that in the future because it has seemed like a great way to just see massive gains, right? 100% gains, over the course of a couple of days once they get listed. So that's a strategy that I am considering at the moment, right? Shiba Inu. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at Shiba. Let's take a look and see what happened with Shiba Inu coin. I've not been watching it over the past couple minutes, so it may have just pumped up a lot. Let's pull up Shiba Inu coin. So let's see what happened. On Coinbase market cap, Shiba Inu coin. Shiba Inu right here. So yeah, it looks like it's been moving up. It's been moving up. Did it drop a 0 though? 0.000049. I'm getting 0.00064, so it is up on the day. Still over the past 24 hours, 37%. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then Dinger's up 2,000%. Yeah, I was looking at Dinger, but let's pull that up. Dinger token right here. Looks like, at least on Coinbase market cap, they've only been tracking it throughout today, right? If you look at the past 3 months, it's still just the daily chart. So I can't actually see. I'm not sure where you're looking at it to see it up 2,000%, but on Coinbase market cap, it's only showing the data for today. So not sure what happened with it, but it looks like, yeah, very low market cap, very high trading volume. About a quarter of the market cap has been traded today. So pretty promising stuff, right? Fully diluted market cap of about 50 million. About 12 million have been traded today. So promising token if you can figure out how to get in on it. All right, Fami is doing well fundamentally. Why they keep diluting and screwing shareholders over? Yeah, Red Pill merch. So yeah, unfortunately, they have done that in the past. And you can see, I think the last instance of it was right here on September 10th. I'm pretty sure that's September 10th. So yeah, they did end up diluting more recently. However, it's understandable when a company is that small of a market cap. They're not looking to just see massive share price appreciation, right? They want to see the underlying business start doing very well, and they would rather, dilute a little bit and start reinvesting into the company. And it looks like that has started to pay off, right? The fact that they've been able to make these acquisitions is actually really good for the underlying business, and that they've been able to expand their business model, and that they've become relevant enough so that partners are looking to buddy up with them and improve their supply chains together. That's very good. So, also the fact that they had this most recent display of their product line, right? That they were able to have a good product line, that they obviously put a lot of work into it. It probably cost some money to develop that. It's understandable that in the early stages, companies like this are going to dilute a bit. So I'm not too worried about Fami's dilution. I'm not too worried about it. And it looks like we have 81 viewers, 75 likes. Let's see if we can't bump that up to 80 likes. That would be appreciated. If we could bump it up to 80 likes. We only need 5 more likes to get this stream to 80 likes, and we can potentially get it out to some more people. And I will, now that I'm plugging myself, I'll offer you guys the opportunity to get some free stocks if anyone's interested. You just go to any one of my videos, even the description of this video's. There's always something that says, want free stocks? Well, you can use these referral links, and we both get free stocks. If you use any of these referral links, you can get free stocks as well. Get your 2 free stocks. You just click on these, sign up for your account, and Webull gives you a free stock. M1 Finance gives you a free $30 just for making an account. So there's a $30 gift waiting for you for signing up and funding your account on M1 Finance. That's a really good brokerage that I use. Public will give you up to $70 worth of free stock, courtesy of Rob Almazy right here, myself. Just using this referral code when you sign up, and Robinhood as well. If you guys are interested in that, you can get a free stock. I actually just got a free share of Apple from Robinhood, so about $140 right there. Not bad if you guys are interested in getting some free stuff. Got you, Fami, says Red Pill merch. Yeah, so I'm still bullish on Fami, I'm not too worried about it. And really good stuff for DWAC, actually. Back above $60. Great V-shape that we like to see. It looks like Mark is trading according to that somewhat. We'll have to see what PHUN is doing. Yep, also a V-shape. Not getting quite as high as DWAC has. Obviously still up percentage-wise more on the day, but not up to the highs. Not as close to the highs as DWAC is at. But obviously DWAC is a much larger market cap and is the tip of the spear regarding this Trump pump. So that's understandable, right? It's understandable that DWAC is doing very well. So, I think that a lot of people are interested in DWAC. Some people are interested in PHUN. Some people are interested in MARK. But I will pull up the market caps because I did mean to do this earlier. I'll pull up all the market caps. And we can actually see right here, if you look at DWAC, it has a $2 billion market cap. Then if you look at PHUN, it has a $380 million market cap. And that was actually much higher just a couple of days ago. We'll zoom out a little bit. When it was trading around 24, we were looking at above $1 billion market cap on DWA or on PHUN. So they have been very volatile. DWAC, I think, only got up at its heights to around a $4.5 billion market cap, and MARK is lower than all of them, right? A $200 million market cap. So that one could grow significantly. Obviously, they're higher risk, higher reward. I think DWAC is more of more of a stable one in the sense that, the market cap is higher. It's also one that a lot of people are interested in because it is directly tied to the Trump Media Corporation. PHUN and MARK not as much, but they're still doing decently. So USWS says, I can't quite get the name. I can't quite get it. Abdullah Rahman. Yeah. All right. We'll look at USWS. Can't quite get that name though. I'll get it. I'll get it someday. So USWS, we're down 1% on the day. Over the past year, it looks like we've stagnated a little bit more recently. I think we were looking at this. Let me pull up. Mark recovery now, says DDWD. Yeah, as is DWAC and PHUN. That is true. They're doing pretty good. Yeah, so USWS. Trading at 256, $133 million market cap. All right, not bad. And yeah, okay. Interesting. Potentially breaching fiduciary duties. All right. So what about USWS? It's not really pumping or anything. It looks like it's stagnated for a bit. We have seen increased volume. I'll admit, we have seen increased volume. It looks like it did shoot up a bit for not long. It did a stock split, a 1 for 3.5 shares. Interesting. I guess that lowered the share count a little bit. Well, let me actually pull up Tesla real quick. Yeah, so Tesla is doing well. Tesla's doing well. So yeah, and I'm sorry, they actually did a stock reverse split. USWS did a reverse stock split. So they took 3.5 shares and turned it into 1. So not great. We don't like to see reverse stock splits. So market recovery now. We saw that. We see that right here actually. We'll zoom in a little bit more on it. Yeah, Mark is doing good, as is DWAC. If we look at the active trader, we're up 679 on the day. So pretty good with DWAC. Rob killing it. AGRI. Let's take a look at AGRI. Agriforce. All right. Man. All right, let's look at the past 30 days and see. Yeah, this is up massively, 200%. That's awesome. Just been shooting up. Let's see what the news is on this. Oh, European buy. Okay, so company said its acquisition target had 30% after the company said it agreed to buy an ag tech European consultancy. Okay, now my guess is that this is obviously, fundamentally good news for the company, but it's likely getting hyped up a little bit more price-wise than it should be. So I'd be careful with this. There's the potential to make quite a bit, but if you look at the market cap, you can see $94 million market cap. It's not going to be tough to drive this thing up massively. So it's already gone up pretty significantly. Potentially a good trade to take, but you're going to have to be careful because this is the kind of thing that could come tumbling down and will likely end up being much higher than it was yesterday, right? It'll likely be far above $2, probably above $3 if this is really great news for them. But there is the potential, right, that this is going to crash eventually. And there's no telling how high it will go before it does. But you're gonna have to watch out for it, right? So Carlos Diaz, or hold on, I'll read the comments in order. Red Pill merch. The only way I can see DWAC keeping any of its prices if they announce something huge like an entire TV news company and in addition conglomerate all the alt social media, Rumbler, Getter, Gab, etc. Yeah, I think that would be really good for DWAC. And I'm not saying that I think, potentially it's going to be good over the long term, right? We don't know for sure because we are still waiting to see what the fundamentals of the company is actually going to look like. But if you pull up DWAC, you can see, I'll show you guys why I think it's so bullish, right? A couple of reasons here. So you can see the implied shares outstanding, about 36 million implied shares outstanding on DWAC, right? So not very many shares. Now, obviously, this is a big momentum play. A lot of people are getting in on DWAC, and a lot of those people are probably Trump voters, right? If you look at the election results for 2020, you can see there were 74 million people who voted for Trump. Now, let's just assume right off the bat that 90% of those people aren't interested in buying this stock or having anything to do with it. Maybe they don't invest at all. They don't have brokerage accounts. They're not interested. Let's just say 90% of people aren't interested in DWAC. That leaves only 10% or 7 million, 7.5 million really, people who might be. Now, those people, if they want to buy this thing, could only buy about 5 shares each before the entire float is bought up. And that's why I think we could be in for a big run. As retail gets a little bit more comfortable with it, I think we could see an almost cryptocurrency-like effect where people aren't holding this off the fundamental value because we don't know what that is yet. But people are almost just holding it to be closer with Trump. And that could really drive the price up quite a bit. That's what I think. All right. So, hey, look at Fami and do TA and DD. Yeah, so Fami stock. I have done this, but I will do this again. So, obviously, Fami's going to want to hold above 40 cents, right? And what we've been looking at with Fami stock is, on this channel, we've talked about it a lot. The reason that it pumped up initially was because they had an acquisition of a forestry company. They expanded their business model into the health and wellness space, and they acquired a new strategic partner regarding their supply chain. So that's why it pumped up initially, and it did subside a little bit. And if we pull up Fami Ortex data, you can see that it subsided also when a bunch of people shorted this. So the short interest was very high. That's what this yellow line is. The short interest is this yellow line as a percentage of the free float. And you can see that it increased massively and has since shorts have ended up exiting their positions. Even more shorts are exiting their positions today. We're down 5.73% short interest-wise on Fami stock. So yeah, a lot of shorts exiting their positions on Fami. I think also as good Fami news comes out, I'll pull that up on Yahoo Finance. We've got it right here. The reason it's pumping up today is because they just showcased an extensive product line and cultivated sales at a major conference. So Fami has been doing very well. But what I expect with it is that we could likely continue to pump up, hopefully, right? If we can break 50 cents, if we look at this, we bounced off of 50 in pre-market. Hopefully we'll find some support at 40 and continue moving up, break 50. My hope is that we go to 60. I'd like to sell around 60 cents and potentially buy back in at 50 if we can see a little bit of a bounce there. Much like we did today almost when we went to 50 and bounced down to 40. I would like to see that kind of a bounce from 60 to 50. That's my hope. So that's how I'll be trading Fami stock. I'm not recommending anyone do it that way, Carlos. That's just how I plan on doing it. Jacob Hillard, BENE, also sister company for DWAC. How do you see that going? I'll pull up BENE right here. It looks like they have been trading according to a very similar pattern to DWAC, MARK, PHUN. All of those are kind of trading the same. But, I really expect DWAC to be doing the best out of all of these stocks because it is the one that's directly tied to Trump. I think it will have the most longevity. Obviously, they're most likely going to continue trading in sympathy with each other. I think BENE, MARK, PHUN will continue to move up as long as DWAC does. Kind of just because algorithms at this point have linked them together, and they're now trading almost like cryptos, right? When Bitcoin goes up, the whole crypto market follows. So that's kind of how I view this. DWAC I view as the Bitcoin, almost in that kind of a situation. If you want to if you want to relate these to cryptos, I view DWAC more as a Bitcoin, and these are all more altcoins that are just trading off of it. They're very volatile. So yeah, I think that they have the potential to move up. But we'll have to watch DWAC to see if they will. So that's what I think about that. Joseph on Hello says Unhalted and Agri good ping pong game. I'm in for a quick 5K, says Ambition 2020. Nice. Yeah, we were watching AGRI. Yeah, it's been doing well. It's been doing well. Fami meeting resistance at 0.38, says Kevin Butler. Let's pull that up and let's just see what we're looking at. We were seeing some support at 38 cents earlier. It looks like we tried getting up to 40, couldn't quite do it, dipped it back down to 38, and now we're bouncing again. That's really good. Ambition 2020, thanks for this one. This channel is working great for me. You're welcome, Ambition. I'm glad it's helping. And David C. Capone says, stock symbol Wish, your analysis. Yeah, so Wish, we have talked about a lot on the channel. And let's pull out a slightly longer time frame, past 90 days. So ideally, we would be getting back up above 535. That's what we would like to see. It looks like we may actually be bouncing off of that. You can see that on our last rally, we tried moving up on pretty big volume, got shot down from 6, where we did see some support and resistance in the past. So not surprising that we were seeing a dip off of 6, but ideally we would have then seen a bounce off of 535 to the upwards direction. It's not too late, right? The fact that we are just down at 515, we could very easily come back to 535 and start moving up. But that's where we've seen some resistance in the past, as well as support once we did move up above that point, right? We ended up bouncing off of that, moving up towards 6. So ideally, we would start consolidating around there. And that's what we want to see with Wish. Obviously, over the past year, we've been getting beaten down and down. But I will point out that this most recently, these past couple of months, when we were getting beaten down, has been as lockdowns were ending, people were going back out more often. COVID seemed like less of a concern for people. So, potentially it was moving down because people were just shopping online less. And as that comes to an end, right, as lockdowns start coming back, it's possible that people will start moving back to Wish, that they'll start doing more online shopping, and we'll have to see their next earnings call when that's coming out. That's going to be on November 10th. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. That could be a big catalyst to get them moving. We'll have to see what happened, because I know that there were certainly more lockdowns and mandates and whatnot over the past 90 days than the 90 days before that. That's what I've noticed, at least in my area. So we're going to have to see with Wish. I'm hopeful for it. I think it could be doing well. It could be on this next earnings call. We're going to have to watch that, though. DWAC, on the other hand, is doing incredibly well right now, up 11% on the day. That brings us to a $1,000 profit on the day, right? $930. All right, now we're down a little bit, so that's fine. All right, let's see. Great analysis is David. Yep. Thanks, man. I do my best. And Jay Nort, DWAC moving. Yeah, we're watching it. It's exciting. It's exciting to see this on fairly large volume, right? We saw some pretty big volume coming in. We can enhance that just for a second. So yeah, pretty big volume. Highs of day volume wise, actually beating the opening bell. So yep, people are starting to get back into DWAC. I think that they're seeing maybe a little bit of a bounce off of a near 50 level, and got down to 52.77, and potentially also the fact that we are making highs of day is exciting some people. Some people might be thinking that the dip is over. The 1 year is a little bit too far out, but if you look back over 30 days, some people might be thinking the dip is over and looking for a move to the upside now. So that could potentially be the case. We'll have to keep an eye on it, right? We're also waiting to see some real catalysts come out for DWAC, which could be moving it up quite a bit. Jacob Hillage says, I agree, thanks. Excited about Rumble merger news. That's interesting. I didn't hear about the Rumble merger news. That would be very cool. I do upload my videos on Rumble also, if you guys are interested. I upload my videos on Rumble, not the live streams, but the just the regular videos. I upload those on Rumble. So if anyone wants to view those there, feel free. Obviously, the community on YouTube is much bigger, but I do upload them on Rumble as well. So Mohammed Mazouj, DWAC on its way to 100. Yeah, hopefully. We're up 10% on the day. Let's see what PHUN is doing. This one's up 20% on the day. So that's going pretty well, right? PHUN not quite making highs of day yet, though. It was up more earlier. But Mark is doing good. It's up 2%. DWAC, hopefully we're going to find some support at 64 and continue our upwards journey. PROG stock, it looks like we've been trending down for a while. We haven't broken 4, which is very good, though. I really like to see PROG staying above 4. That's really good stuff. Red Pill Merch says Rumble merger news was a rumor Sunday night. Didn't happen, yeah. It doesn't surprise me. Rumble is doing well on their own, so I guess there's no real need to merger. So that's unsurprising. Wouldn't surprise me to hear about that going on in the future potentially, right? If Trump Media Corporation really starts to become a big thing, then potentially it would want to start consolidating with some other media sites that are already established. That's possible. All right, guys, now we'll be right back. Quick bathroom break right here. Okay, and we are back. Here we go. There we go. That's the right view that we want. Okay, cool. So not much has changed. It looks like we've basically just continued heading where we were heading with most of these stocks, right? DWAC unfortunately is breaking below 64, which we don't like, but we're still up on the day, so you can't complain about that. Up 6%, up 7%. And PROG is doing pretty well, right? We are hopefully going to hold it for. It's been a very slow descent, pretty much just a straight line going down for PROG stock. So not the worst thing, right? What we don't want to see are big red bars pushing PROG down. Hopefully we'll hold above 4. It looks like we're struggling with it right now. We're going to have to see how that continues. And I will point out that we are at 87 likes on the stream. Let's see if we can't bump that up to 90 or 95. Let's try to get maybe even 100. We might be able to get 100 likes on the stream. It's possible. It is possible that we could bump that up to 100. So we're 87. We would only need 13 more likes. 89 likes. We're climbing right now. We got 76 viewers. Potentially most of them have liked the stock or liked the video already. Like the stock, we're at 90, so we already beat that. All right. So let's see. Mohammed says DWAC is on its way to 100. I think we've read that already. And do you believe with Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene buying DWAC shares that it will open doors for more Trump supporters to buy some? Yeah, I think that the doors for Trump supporters to buy this stock are wide open. I think that we could see a lot of Trump supporters buying this stock. I don't think that there's no doors blocking them. I think we could see a lot more Trump supporters buying this stock. We got 74 million of them as of the last election. Right here, you can see 74 million could potentially be buying this stock, and let's assume only 10% do. They'd only need to buy 5 shares each to buy up the whole float of the stock. So yeah, I think there's really some potential in DWAC. All right. Oh, sheesh. Agri halted in the middle of ping pong. AGRI. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, the halts are very unfortunate, and down it goes. All right. So 1052. Yeah, halted. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We'll have to see what happens with it. That's not a great time for AGRI to be halting out. It's opened back up again. Okay, we're seeing some green on this. We're gonna have to see what happens. With it, but not the worst bar in the world to open up with, right? It obviously could have opened up much lower, since we were subsiding very quickly. The halt may have saved us, actually. In this case, sometimes halts can be good. Oh, Fami rapid decline. Jeez. Oh, man, we're going back down to 37 cents. Yeah. Hopefully 37 will act as some support, but it's looking like we are just blasting through that at the moment. Oof, that's not what we'd like to see. PROG is doing a little bit better, right? Bouncing off of 4 somewhat significantly, getting up to 405. But yeah, that's unfortunate for Fami that it's down to 37. We're still up on the day a little bit, but 37 does oftentimes act as a resistance. It has acted as a support in the past. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. 37 could save us, but since the initial pump up, 37 hasn't been the most solid support or resistance you can see. But we're going to keep an eye on it, right? 37 might save us. Who knows, though? I just set up a weekly deposit to buy Shiba, says Ariana Layden. It's very possible that Ariana Layden is a bot. I would not put it past a bot to say that. Welcome to the Bag Holders Club, Ariana. Here's your complimentary coffee mug. Ariana might be a bot. I'm not sure. I can't confirm or deny it, but it might be a bot. A lot of bots come in here and try to pump stuff. So we'll see. It's potential that it's a bot. But Edward Agri says GNUS predictions halted all morning. GNUS, yeah. So the reason. Oh wow. Well, it looks like it's not halted anymore, but it was halted a lot of the morning. Started trading at 10:45. Up pretty big, up at 2:30, and then it just tanked. So let's see. So they're to buy WoW Unlimited for $53 million in cash. Looks like that was the news that was very positive for the company that came out. But yeah, it got halted. I'm not sure why it was halted yet. Likely the SEC was probably investigating them a little bit, right? Because they did pump up the price of the stock. The SEC might have been worried that this was some kind of price manipulation because the company basically just came out and said, hey, there's going to be some positive positive news that we have on Wednesday, and that pumped up the stock massively on expectations for that. We unfortunately never beat the highs on this news. It looks like we're now dipping back down. But people were at one point very excited about this, and the SEC likely halted the stock just to do a little investigation into them right before the news came out. You can see it was halted for, it looks like, from 8:24 to 10:45, so a little over 2 hours. Shiba Coin going to a penny by 2023, says Randy the Ape. Yeah, we've been covering Shiba Coin. Let's take a look at the cryptos right here. We've got Coinbase or CoinMarketCap right here, and it looks like Shiba Inu has fallen one spot. It was right behind Doge a minute ago, or rather, Doge has moved up. Something must have happened with Doge, maybe. But now USD coin is in between Shiba Inu and Dogecoin. Oh well. But we are getting very close to Shiba beating out Dogecoin. If you look, Shiba has been doing incredibly well over the past, even the past week. It's been doing incredibly well. I've unfortunately sold most of my Shiba Inu back. Let's see, a month ago. I sold it probably around here, but I was getting in early on it, so it was a good gain, and I was happy with it. I wasn't going to complain about that. So yeah, no, Shiba's doing very well though. I do still hold a little bit. I hold more Doge than I do Shiba Inu. But it looks like, Dogecoin holders are likely getting very mad that Shiba Inu coin holders might be surpassing the market cap wise. You can see Dogecoin has a $33 billion market cap, Shiba Inu at $24 billion. It's getting very close. Over the past 7 days, Shiba's up 131%. Over the course of the past 24 hours, up 37%. So people are making a ton of money in Shiba Inu coin. Dogecoin holders do not like Shiba Inu coin holders because, or rather, they don't like Shiba Inu coin, typically. I hold both, so I don't discriminate with my cryptos. But Dogecoin holders tend to think, at least this is what I've heard from the Dogecoin millionaire, that guy on YouTube. If you've ever watched any of his videos, if you watch Graham Stephan or Andre Geek, then they've both had him on the channel. They tend to think that Shiba Inu coin is taking away from the potential market cap that Dogecoin could have. They think that a lot of people who are buying Shiba Inu are they should be putting their money in Doge instead. And they're upset because every time Elon Musk now tweets out a picture of his dog, they think that he's talking about Dogecoin, but really a lot of people take it as he's talking about Shiba Inu coin. So it's very interesting to see the battle that could ensue between the holders of the two. One, maybe Dogecoin holders will start bashing Shiba Inu coin holders. Ambition 2020 says, I hold both Doge and SHIB. Money's money. I agree with that. That's what I do as well. I don't discriminate with the cryptos or the stocks, or in real life either. So I think you just got to do what makes sense at the time. That's how I do it. But we'll pull Fami back up because this is one that we're interested in. We are dipping a little bit. PROG is successfully bouncing off of $4, and it looks like 37 is acting as a little bit of a support for Fami. We're going to see if that holds. Obviously, 38 cents held for a little before we broke through on significant volume. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Riggs X. Hey, Rob, I just want you to know I watch all your videos and I like them. You are very professional, you speak well, and you are very knowledgeable. I appreciate all that you do. Thank you very much, Riggs X. I appreciate that. I'm still new to this whole YouTube thing. I only started a couple of months ago, and I'm even newer to live streaming, so I appreciate the support, man. Thank you very much. That's good to hear. It's good to know that that I'm doing something right. So, we have been watching these stocks for a long time though, and I will say that I do like to put my money where my mouth is, and I will point out I am holding some Fami in my Robinhood account as well as DWAC. You can see I'm holding 150 shares right here. We're up about almost 6K all time and about 600 on the day. Got in at 24.18. So. Some of the trades that I call out have done fairly well, right? Sometimes they do fairly well. Overall, I've made a lot of money in the market, a lot more than I've lost. Sometimes the trades don't work, and I'm not ever telling people to buy the same stocks I'm buying. I'm just showing them what I'm doing to give some transparency on that. I don't want to convince anyone to buy something either way, but I like to show what I'm doing and what's worked for me. So that's the goal here. That's what I'm trying to do. And I will point out that we are at 96 likes on this video. We only need 4 more likes to get to 100. Who wants to be the 4 people who will get us to 100? That would be much appreciated. Anyone who wants to go down, hit the like button. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, then hit that. But that would be much appreciated if we could get some likes coming in the video. And that would be great to see. 97 likes. We only need 3 more. We're not that far off. Hopefully we'll see not just the like count on this video pumping up, but also some of the stocks that we're watching. Right, PROG is looking like a very promising one. The fact that we're finding support at 4 is very good. The fact that we didn't just drop right through and plummet. We're at 9,800 likes. There we go. Thank you guys very much. But yeah, PROG is looking very promising. Right, the fact that we are bouncing off of 4 is looking really good for the stock, and I will pull up the Ortex data and some of the the Google Trends data doesn't look great just because there's a big blip. So maybe I can pull up the daily data, but even that's not ideal. This will give us an all right indication of what PROG is doing, though. You can see that yesterday, around the same time, right at 11, we had a search ranking of around 50 or 60, which unfortunately it looks like we might be declining a little bit now. Obviously, this is incomplete data. We're surely not going to 0. But we were just earlier having a much higher ranking, right, of around 74. So we're doing decently on Google Trends for PROG stock, and I should get myself out of the way for that. Sorry, yeah, sometimes I don't think about where the camera is, where the face cam is, and what it's covering on the screen. But PROG is doing decently on Google Trends. On Ortex, we haven't looked at this in a little bit. We will pull it up because I'm curious now that we're hitting 4. Oh, okay, this is interesting. So it looks like shorts are doubling down on PROG stock. Really, this is a last-ditch effort. They've increased the short interest by 5.24%. When we looked at that earlier, I think it was negative. At least it was yesterday, it was negative. But they are increasing their short positions. So shorts are getting very worried about PROG stock, and for good reason. We've talked about this a couple of times, but first off, the fact that we are breaking above 4. And if you look at the options activity for PROG, these are PROG options right here. The November 19th strike date has very many open interest call options for all kinds of strike prices, but $4 in particular, we've got 22,740 open interest call options at $4 right here. And at 350, which we also recently broke, we have 25,000. So between the two, it's almost 50,000 and 40,000 at 3. If we could get up above 450, that would be another 14,000 call options to add to this fire that has shorts very worried because they realize that if this thing starts to gamma squeeze as we get closer to November 19th, as we get closer to the expiration date for those options, it's likely that a lot of those options were being sold naked, that they'll have to be covered by having the institutions who have sold those options be buying shares, and that really could lead to a big appreciation in stock price. And it's apparent to shorts that there is very little inhibiting a large increase in stock price because you can see that on some good news for PROG stock, we were able to burst up to 650. There just wasn't enough selling pressure to keep us below 4. There weren't enough asks. So the fact that we are, and even just this morning we were bursting up almost to 5. We were at 475 at our peaks. The fact that these stocks are able to burst up in such big ways before a little sell-off ensues really shows the weakness of sellers. Sellers are basically not really able to keep this thing down, right? They rely on people who are taking profits to end up pushing it down after it's risen. But if it rises too much and the momentum keeps growing, then I just think more and more people are going to start piling in, which will end up hurting the short sellers very much, right? You can see that we have a current short interest of 53% of the free float, so very high. The utilization is also incredibly high. There's hardly any ammo left that shorts have to throw at these to throw at PROG stock. So really good stuff that we're seeing. I'm very, very excited about it. PROG is doing very well. All right, and we did get to 100 likes, so thank you guys again. So Keith Gills, what program do you use to view these stocks? So this program is TD Ameritrade's Think or Swim platform, and this is what I've used for years. It's a super nice, super convenient platform. And I'll swap out of this view for a second so you can see what it normally looks like when there's not 4 stocks on the screen. But you can see, you have all your stocks here. You just got the main screen, and you can switch between stocks fairly easily just doing that. But you can also, if you want, a million stocks, you could look at them this way. That tends to get kind of tiny when you do that. You could add whatever you want, DWAC. You could add FAMI here. And you could have a ton of stocks. Obviously, it's kind of small, so I prefer not to do that. I think that for these videos, the 4-stock view is the best. And that just gives you the best view of, for people who are watching on mobile and whatnot. So that's why I tend to do it like this. But yeah, we use TD Ameritrade Think or Swim over here. So that's what I use. And I think it's a great charting platform. I don't trade on it as much as I trade on other platforms. I obviously do trade some. I have a position right here in DWAC. I've got 150 shares right here on this platform. I do use this for more day trading type stuff, but this position I am actually holding long term just because I happen to have some capital on it. Yeah, Keith Gills, you're welcome on that. Yeah, so also I will say, if anyone is interested in other platforms, this is great for charting. I will pull up the other platforms that I use. I use Robinhood, which if you use the link in the description, you can use any of these links to get free stocks if you sign up. I use Robinhood for buy and hold and options strategies because Robinhood has free options trading, which is very nice, and they're very transparent about the potential gains that you could get on the options. So if you use the link in the description of this live stream or any one of my videos, you can find Robinhood. You can get up to free, you get up to $500 free with Robinhood by claiming your stock right there. I use Public to I use Public a little bit. It's not my favorite of the brokerages that I use, but I do use it just to show off some of my trades. Right, every now and then I hold some Tesla in Public right now, but a lot of it is kind of swing trading. Red Pill Merch. Oh, what program did he say? Yeah, I use TD Ameritrade Think or Swim, but you can rewind the program if you want. But TD Ameritrade's Think or Swim platform. So TD Ameritrade is the company, but I will point out the other ones right here. M1 Finance, really great platform for buy and hold strategies. I like it very much because it lets you buy fractional shares very easily and create your own EFTs, essentially, right? Not that other people can buy them, but it essentially lets you put stocks into pie slices. Yeah. Okay, TD Ameritrade Think or Swim for charts, yeah. No day trading on Robinhood unless you have 25K reserve. Yeah, I think that's true. True for most brokerages, actually. Most brokerages require that you have 25K. That's the pattern day trader rule. So yeah, most brokerages are going to do that. But M1 Finance, like I was saying, is a really great one, which you can get right here. You get a free $30 for signing up for M1 Finance. It takes you here. And I use it for the long term, right? It's stocks that I don't want to trade, that I just want to hold over the long term. It's really great because it lets you allocate exactly how much you want into each stock, right? So if you want to, say, have a portfolio that's 5% Tesla, 8% Microsoft, 50% to DWAC, whatever you want, M1 Finance is a great one for that. And finally, last but not least, Webull. This is a good one. You get 2 free stocks from if you sign up, but you also get cryptos. You can trade cryptos on Webull. Typically, that's how I bought my Shiba Inu coin, and that's how I made quite a bit. Robinhood is decent for cryptos, but they don't have that many listed. Robinhood is where I bought Doge, but Webull is where I bought Shiba Inu and ended up making about 200% on it. So it's a decent one if you're interested. Yeah, so you got to make a TD account to download it. I believe, yeah, you have to make a TD account to download it. And even if you had it downloaded, I think you have to log in to actually access the screen right here, right? So I have to log into this account to actually see the charts. So yeah, you've got to make a TD account if you want it, but you don't have to deposit anything. So it's free essentially, right? But you do have to give them your information. But TD Ameritrade is a very large and well-trusted broker. Okay, yeah, and Ambition says, oh yeah, the Thinkorswim platform. Yep. And Red Pill Merch says, Schwab Street Smart app is pretty good, similar to TD, but a little different options. Interesting. I've not heard of that. Well, I have heard of Schwab, but I haven't heard about their Street Smart app. That's interesting. I'll look into that. Mohammed Mazouj. DWAC finally hit 68. Thank goodness. Yeah, we're moving up on DWAC. We didn't quite hit it, right? We're very close to 68 right here. The highs were 67, 74, 78 maybe. So we're getting very close to 68. We're up 13% on the day. This is looking like a very good day for DWAC. And I'll replace Fami for a second. PHUN is also doing very well. Up 25% there. Up 13% on DWAC. It looks like PHUN has finally made highs of day again. That's nice to see. MARK is doing good as well, right? Up 3%. Not as good as DWAC. It's really leading the charge. And PHUN is also doing very well. It's actually up more. Street Smart also puts a live stream of CNBC with it. which is kind of nice when they don't have bozos on. Yeah, red pill merch, nice. Yeah, I tend to not like too many overlays on my trading platform. Like, I think there is something that I could click here to see some live news coverage, I believe, but I never use it. I think it's maybe on the education tab or something like that. But I pretty much never use the live news coverage on the apps. I tend to like looking stuff up individually. The one thing that I do like about this is there is a nice news tab here, which often shows you interesting information that just came out, like at 10:55. Let's see what this is. Trump SPAC merger has provisions for presidential run and prison time. So let's see what this is talking about. This came out 10:55 today. One of the most talked about SPAC mergers of all time saw a huge share surge in valuation. This is talking about DWAC, by the way, and demand, and brought interest back to the SPAC market. A new filing shows some provisions for the SPAC merger based on its well-known namesake leader, obviously Donald Trump. What happened? But what about prison time and presidential runs? So, restructuring of ownership, material disruption event listed include the company principal who announces that he's running for a public office, or the company principal is personally convicted of a felony or criminal offense. So basically, all right, what is this saying? The SPAC merger filing said that a material disruptive event will not change the company's ownership. All right, so the company's principal ownership and position in the company shall be structured in a way to eliminate the need for restructuring of ownership or changes in position where a material disruptive event were to occur. All right, so basically they're saying that when Trump Media merges with DWAC, it's going to be structured in such a way so that if Trump were to run for president or if Trump were to be put in prison, it wouldn't affect his ownership of DWAC. That's interesting. Red Pill merch. Just found you yesterday on your PROG video. Like the stream so far. I will watch you more. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And Gene Joseph says, where do you guys think PHUN will hit, or what do you think it will hit? Let me actually make a poll for everyone. Let me make a poll for everyone. Which are you most bullish on today? And I'll add DWAC. I'll add PHUN. I'll add Fami. And what else are we looking at? PROG. We'll add PROG. Unfortunately, it only lets you add 4 options. So there we go. We now have the poll out, and we're going to see which stock people are most bullish on today. So where do you guys think PHUN won? Just on yesterday. CRTX plunged today over 75%. CRTX, let's take a look. Yeah, down about 75% on the day. Cortexime. Let's see what happened to them. And I see you, Ambition 2020. I will look at Fami in a second. Geez, this one. All right, so obviously a much lower market cap now. You can see $436 million market cap on them. Tumbles on failed clinical trial for Alzheimer's drugs. So yeah, I'm not sure. You know, those biotech plays, when they do have a failed trial, tend to not be the best buy, in my opinion, just because a lot of the price was built in expecting the trial to be successful. And if it was failed, then they've really got nothing to show for it. And they've already, likely, oftentimes these kind of companies tend to dilute to maintain their value while they, or rather to raise capital. They dilute to raise capital while they are doing their R&D. So the fact that it failed the trial is unfortunate. I'm not sure if it's a buying opportunity. It could sink a little bit more. We do see this kind of thing often. I'm not sure if I would be buying it. So double candles on Fami, time to buy. Your thoughts? Let's look at Fami. Okay, so it looks like we're still holding support at 37. You know, I think this could be a buying opportunity, right? The fact that we are hitting 37 and that we haven't dropped through, it could be a trade to take, right? If you want to bet on Fami going to the upside, right? You could buy in, and then if it, say, dropped down to 36, that could be a pretty tight stop loss to get out at. But there is the potential that it will return to the levels that it was at previously, right? Above 40 cents. So you're looking at a risk reward, if you did happen to set a stop loss at 36 cents of, 1 cent to a potential, if you're just holding until 43-cent gain. So a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio, that's pretty good. So yeah, this could be a good buy on Fami, but not telling anyone to do it. That's just my opinion on it. I'm not doing it right now, not while I'm on stream. Potentially, maybe we'll buy some Fami shares. Geez, the active trader is pretty small on this. So okay, here we go. So we could buy what 1,000. That's only gonna be $300. We can do 2,000 Fami shares, and if we get down to 3,700, cannot confirm order while reconnecting. It looks like we have lost some kind of connection to. I hope the stream is all right though. Okay, now it will go through. Yeah, so we'll buy 2,000 shares. It's only $700. That now that I say it, that is a decent trade to be in. So if it gets down that low, oh, it just filled right there. Nice. Okay, so now we're just watching. Now if it drops below 36, we got to keep an eye on this. It looks like it might be doing that right now. We might be losing a little bit right now. We might be losing 50 or 60 bucks on this. But we're just going to draw some lines right there just so that we keep an eye on it and know when to sell out. So we will no longer be using this bottom left screen as one to view other stocks. We'll probably start filtering out of PROG. It looks like PROG is starting to move down below 4, so not great. PHUN is a trash meme stock that only moves in DWAC moves. It will not go anywhere, and the hype will die pretty quickly. Yeah, so let's look at the poll results. Looks like 48% of the people are bullish on DWAC. A lot of people are bullish on PROG, PHUN, and some on Fami, right? The fact that Fami is dipping isn't ideal. I don't love to see Fami dipping down because we're getting pretty close to the stop loss. So, so far, we've lost $13. Not a huge deal. We're going to lose like $26 if this thing moves down to 36. I'm not too worried about it. It's just an interesting trade. It'll keep the stream a little lively, I think. Hopefully, we don't hit 36. I'm hoping for some big green candles coming in, but we'll see. We'll see. Red Pill merch, a lot of people are already trapped in PHUN at high prices and bag holding. Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, PHUN has not been kind to people, nor has DWAC or MARK over the past couple of days. You can see that we've dipped down a bit, but there's always the chance that it will come back, right? If DWAC moves back in a big way, then there's the chance that the others will as well. Okay, please add BKKT. Thanks. Kala Lilies asks. Yes. All right, we can put it in the bottom right. And, oh, yeah, this one's doing good. This is moving up. All right, let's see. What's the news on this? Oh, it looks like no news as of right now. It's just momentum. Just some momentum coming into BKKT. Nice, and we'll pull it over so the face doesn't get in the way. The poll should have been titled, which meme stock are bag holding, lol. There's always a chance that we 500% again in a day, right? Right? That's what people are hoping for, man. That's what people are hoping for. I'm not so sure about 500% in a day. I think, now that the market cap's gotten larger, we could be looking at a slow bleed up, right? As some people are buying up the implied shares outstanding of DWAC. I think that we could start to see bit of a decrease in the available shares to be buying and just a decrease in liquidity from sellers. So, sheesh, lunchtime drops in 39 minutes. With this point day, folks won't return after lunch. Holding over on Fami. I'm confident we'll do well tomorrow. Didn't ping pong it. Yeah, no, I'm going to hold this Fami. We're going to see what happens with it. In about 37 minutes, we're going to be doing lunch as well. So, hopefully Fami will be moving up before then, right? We don't want to see Fami drop below 36 because that's where our stop loss is on it. And obviously, this is a small trade. We're only trading 2K shares right now. So any movement's not going to be that significant, but we're just doing this for fun on stream. Jordan Israel Peterson, Red Pill merch, good one. Yeah, no, that's good. We maybe we'll have to retitle the next poll, right? But if people haven't voted in the poll yet, feel free. Which stock are you the most bullish on today? DWAC, PHUN, FAMI, or PROG? Personally, I'm thinking DWAC, although obviously PHUN has moved up a significant amount. Right, it's actually up more percentage-wise, but I hold out hope for DWAC. That's the one that I'm currently the heaviest on of all of those. So, yeah, no, DWAC is looking like a good one. That's what I'm looking at right now the most, right? I'm the most bullish on DWAC over the midterm. PROG looks very good, though. The fact that we are now moving back above $4 is great for PROG. We did dip below a little bit, but we are now maintaining a level above $4. So really good stuff. Happy to see it. And we have 105 likes. So it would be nice actually if we could just get maybe 5 more likes, get this thing up to 110. That would be awesome. And Red Pill Merch says Fami has some good volume over 200 mil. That is usually PROG's volume, and PROG is looking very soft today at 67 mil. Yeah, yeah, PROG is looking a little soft today. Although we've seen some great action. Right, we're up above 4, and that's what we really want today. We want that because that's what's going to bother the short sellers of these call options. Right, there are likely a lot of people naked selling these, 22,000 of them, and it's quite a few. As well as the fact that the expiration date isn't quite here yet. So this will only grow in pressure over time, right? The fact that if we're able to stay over 4, that some institutions who have sold those call options will likely have to start buying up PROG shares. That's going to be great. And Ambition 2020 says, for folks buying on the BKKT rise, make sure you can catch those knives coming down. This isn't a game for greed. Yeah, it has risen quite a bit, and it looks like it's coming down in a somewhat significant way, right? On fairly large volume, we're moving down on BKKT. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Hopefully this rally will continue, but there's no telling. There's no telling on this one. So it does unfortunately at the moment look like it's turning into a bit of a bearish situation, though. We'll point that out. Let's keep an eye on Fami, though. We don't want this thing to drop below 36. So Red Pill Merch, did you catch how in the pre-market yesterday PROG hit 640? I can't see it on any charts, but a bunch of people confirmed. No, we can look at it right here. We have it on this chart, actually. We have it on this chart. Yeah, so 646, it did hit that in the pre-market. That's why I like using TD Ameritrade. They have a really great charting platform. You can customize these days and times and whatnot. And, oftentimes, say if you looked at the past year and today, it doesn't show that it moved up to 640, right? It doesn't show that. But if you look at the minute chart, it does. And you would think that because this is a minute chart, it's only tracking a day and you can't move that far back. Obviously, this is about to expire out of time, right? We can't actually move any further back than yesterday's pre-market. But what you can do is you can set your own days and times. So I actually have a 30-day 1-minute chart right here where I can zoom back over the past 30 days and look at the minute-by-minute action over the past 30 days. You could do this for a longer time frame, I believe, if you wanted, but 30 days is fine for me. I've also got 5 years and a month over here. I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff. So we can actually look at PROG just for a minute, seeing them yesterday in the pre-market burst up from 340 all the way to 646. We can zoom in on that. So yeah, they definitely did. Confirmed right here. BRB manager calling me at work. Hopefully DWAC booms when I come back. I hope so, man. I hope so. That's the hope. Yeah, PROG holding above 4. That's looking pretty good. And I was talking Red Pill Merch about earlier. I will point out the fact that we were able to break above not just $4, but all of these price points in such a significant way really shows a weakness in selling pressure for PROG stock. There's a real weakness there. This showed that this thing really could explode on relatively low volume because there just aren't enough sell orders. There aren't enough people holding the stock willing to push it down, and shorts typically could have come in to PROG stock under normal circumstances and just shorted it down a ton when they saw it was over 450, when they saw it was over 5, but it was able to get all the way up to 650 because the utilization on PROG is very high, 99.89%, and this is basically showing how many shares are available to short. That's what the utilization is showing. So 99.89% of them have already been shorted. So there really isn't that much more ammo that shorts can use to keep PROG down. And you can see a similar thing happen in today's pre-market when we were hitting 470 during the pre-market today. So yeah, shorts are running out of ammo. They're getting very nervous because they know this thing could explode. Fami is moving up. Yeah, we are above 37. That's good news. We are technically in a Fami trade right now, up $2 on it. We've got 2,000 shares of Fami, so we're going to see what happens with it. Hopefully, it will continue to move up. Red Pill Merch, so I saw last night people posting on Reddit some notices from their brokers. They're starting to ask people if they can borrow their shares, and someone was short and showed their notice from brokers saying there is no more left to borrow and their position will be closed out soon. That's awesome. Yeah, I think shorts are really starting to panic on PROG. In 1 second, I need to refill my water. My throat's getting a little dry, so I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. All right, there we go. We've got more water and more fuel, and it looks like so does PROG. We're up at 409. That's good news right there. This is a nice bounce to see off of $4. It's good to see that we aren't just stagnating at 4. Ideally, when we do hit 4, we want to see a lot of buying pressure, which is what we're seeing right now, right? We're moving back up above, so very good stuff with PROG. Very excited about that. Fami, we're doing decently well, right? We're up at, we're staying above 37 cents. Hopefully we can start moving back up towards 40. That's the hope. Potentially there's going to be a situation where we could see some big green bars, but we're going to have to wait and see on that, right? We don't want it to drop below 36 because that's where our stop loss is, our mental stop loss. I don't like placing physical stop losses, right? Because sometimes you just, a little tick goes down for just a little candle wick and you couldn't actually even react in time and it ends up selling your stuff for a cheap price before it moves back up. But let's see. We've got a lot of comments that we have not been paying attention to, so we're going to try and run through those. And we have 118 likes. Let's see if we can burst that up 2 more to 120 likes in the meantime. So, let's see. Johnny T says, "Hey Rob, let's hope we get some long-term investors who buy and hold DWAC. Lower float plus higher marketing of True Social equals higher demand." I agree. I would be very excited to see, some more long-term investors buying and holding this thing, lowering the float. That's the expectation, right? The expectation on DWAC, if you look, is that there's only 36 million shares available right now. And if you look at the presidential election results for 2020, you can see that about 74 million people voted for Trump. Let's say just 10% of those people try to buy up this stock. They could only buy about 5 shares each before the entire float is taken up. So very, very cool stuff. I'm very bullish on DWAC over the midterm, right? And maybe the long term as well. We'll have to see what the fundamentals of the company look like. Jason Cropper says, "Been scooping up as much of this PROG tip as possible like a madman." Yeah, that's a great buy. If you bought it under 4 around here, awesome buy, man. You're already up on money. Cat King Radio just got $125 of Fami Stock. Hope it hits $5 per share by midwinter. That'd be nice. Little vacation in Florida for me. Yeah, that would be awesome, man. I'm holding some Fami as well. I'm even holding. Let's see, how much am I holding? It doesn't tell me my. It's about $700 worth of Fami right here. I just bought in. Off 37. So hopefully we're going to be moving up. I have a stop loss set at 36 right here, but we've got 2K Fami shares right here. So we're just doing a little fun trade on camera, not messing with too much capital. But what are your thoughts on NAKD? I bought it at 59. Was wondering if it will continue to rise. At 59 cents, by the way, says Bar Pro Official. Let's take a look at NAKD. Okay, well, if you bought it at 0.59, then you're up on money. That's good. Too bad you couldn't get out in the really early morning trading above 70. But let's see what it's been doing. I have been watching NAKD. It looks like they have been following the similar pattern of kind of expanding their highs and lows, but higher highs and lower lows as well. So very interesting to see that we are moving up again. However, we're starting to move down today, right? This is a red bar. So we're going to have to see what happens with it. It's interesting that we just move up in pre-market and after hours and then move down on the actual trading days themselves. But if it gets us higher, it gets us higher. So 70 cents is definitely going to be a tough one, it looks like. But we'll see. I mean, we are following this pattern so far, right? Until we actually break below 50, around 59, honestly. Really 58 would be the absolute lowest we could go before this pattern is broken. It's looking bullish, right? You can see... Oh, shoot. Well, you know what? This chart is getting covered up a little bit by me. So I'll bring it over here for a second. I'll cover up Fami even though we're in a trade. I'm sorry about that. Interesting. So let's see. NAKD. This is really strange. NAKD is showing very different stuff on these 2 charts. That's interesting. I guess. What does the 1 year look like on this? This is very strange. Okay, here we go. Nice. All right. So on the 1 year, you can see this pattern that we've got going on with NAKD. I'll pull Fami up over here just real quick so I can keep watching it. But yeah, NAKD. You can see. I will re-explain this. NAKD knife fight, hard to catch those blades coming down. Yeah. But if you're looking at a more long-term pattern, you can see these higher highs and higher lows that we've been making. So I would say NAKD is pretty safe until you honestly got a great buy on that at 59. The fact that you got so close to this most recent low that we've reached is really great. So I would say it's pretty safe until we start going below that. I wouldn't worry too much about us dropping, but it looks like we are. We're experiencing a little bit of bearish pressure, but we're still up on the day, up 1.87%. So I wouldn't worry too much about NAKD. But obviously not financial advice. I'm not telling anyone to hold it if they don't want to. And we're only one like away from 120. So let's see if we can get one more like on this stream. Ambition 2020 says, well, hold on. I need to go back up even further. Jason Cropper, if you value free speech, then you should love DWAC, not to mention all the other positive things. This could be huge. Just one guy's thoughts. Yeah, I think it could be a really big stock looking forward. We'll have to see, obviously, what the fundamentals, what fundamentals it has going on for it once we actually know. But we'll have to see. So Barproof Ritual thanks me. You're welcome. And Ambition 2020, we will bank tomorrow. Fami lunch today. 3-4 traders won't be back. Slow day. No bull runs. No pending runs until Friday. Yeah. We'll see on Fami, right? I'm still hopeful that we could see a little bit of a bounce. Not for sure, though. It has slowed down quite a bit. Volume has subsided a lot. Looks like we're stagnating at 37, but you never know what's going to happen with it, right? We're just in this little trade for fun. So just to keep the stream a little interesting, we are in this Fami trade, right? We've got 2,000 shares right here and pretty much at break even at 37 cents. Though we might want to get out of it somewhat soon, right? We'll see. We'll see. We are getting close to lunch, so... We are getting close to lunch. PHUN, it looks like it's dipping again in a significant way following the DWAC dip. So that's not great. Barproof Official will give me the thumbs up. Nice. Thank you very much. We are at 123 likes now. Looks like a couple people like the stream. That's awesome. Was sleeping, says Barproof. All right. And Cat King Radio, what do you think of USWS? With high gas prices, you see $10 per share coming. Let's pull up USWS. Let's pull that up because oil has definitely been on the rise, I will say. So over the past year, we just got that reverse split. So 3.5 shares turns into 1 share. So not great that we've been doing a reverse split. That's not the kind of thing that you want to see. But let's pull up. Let's get oil. Let's see what oil stock prices are doing. Let's pull up oil here. So let's look over the past 5 years, or even 10 years. No, we'll do 5. So here's oil over the past 5 years. You can see it dipped massively when COVID was at its peak, and has since been shooting up, and we're actually breaking the all-time highs that we've seen over the past 5 years. Not quite true of 10 years, but sky is the limit with this kind of a situation. Oil is getting very expensive. OPEC met not long ago and decided not to increase production of oil. So it's looking like this is continuing with the inflation trend. Unfortunately, it's seeming very likely that oil prices are going to be increasing for a while, right? A lot of inflationary measures are going to be increasing. That's unfortunate, but for USWS, let me see what they are all about. If they are, it looks like they're a well service and are likely involved in oil rigging. So they could be doing pretty well. Stephen Owinski is asking about Sundial. So Johnny T, hold on, I will get to Sundial in a second. So let's see. Johnny T says, "Hey Rob, is it true that even if we are holding DWC, unless we have an open sell order, those shares can be loaned out to short sellers?" I'm not sure. I think it depends on which brokerages you're using, but I'm not sure how DWAC. I know it is shorted somewhat, but I'm not sure if it's shorted in the way that most stocks are shorted. So let me actually pull up DWAC. We haven't looked at it. Let's pull that up. DWAC, let's see. Yeah, so no short data on DWAC. But you can see that there are some borrowed shares, and the borrowed change it's there, so people are still shorting it one way or another. But I think it's for some reason less shortable than most typical stocks because it is a SPAC. But I'm not too sure about that, so I really don't know about why some brokerages would loan out your shares unless you have an open sell order. That's possible. It's possible that that's how normal stocks work. I'm not sure about DWAC though, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm not going to put an open sell order. It's only it's potentially a good thing having a bunch of people shorting the stock, at least initially, right? Because if we could really start seeing some real short numbers, those people could get squeezed and push us higher than we otherwise may have gone. So it wouldn't be the worst thing to see a couple of short sellers out there. We just don't want them to manipulate it too much to the downside and kill the momentum. So Stephen Osinki says, any insight on Sundial? Motley Fool just pubbed an interesting take on Sundial. Motley Fool issues rare all buy alert. Yeah, Motley Fool, very rare alert. I feel like they always issue an all-in alert, but we'll look at Sundial and Motley Fool. Let's see. Yeah. So I think this is the article you're talking about. Better cannabis stock. Sundial grows versus Aurora Cannabis. Key points: it's best to buy shares of companies that are successful with their core offerings. Blah blah blah. Aurora needs to make rapid changes to survive. Sundial is the better option. Yeah. Okay. So they're betting on Sundial in contrast. So yeah, this is definitely a bullish article. Bullish stuff to be coming out on Motley Fool for Sundial. Let's see what Sundial is doing. Oh, and it looks like we are seeing a bit of a bounce on Fami Stock. We're going to keep a close eye on that. Right now, we're up $13. Maybe that can buy some lunch. We'll see if it goes well. So we actually dipped on this, it looks like, when the article came out, or shortly after. It looks like we have been dipping on the day, right? We shot up, but have been sinking down below to 65. And, Sundial is one that I am not worried about, right? I own Sundial shares. I'm holding them for the long term. I'm just waiting for the explosion that will almost certainly ensue after legalization, right? That's what I'm watching for with Sundial, SNDL. I'm not too worried about the day-to-day price action. Obviously, it's going to be dipping a bit. These cannabis stocks are not too popular with institutions, at least not until legalization occurs. So I'm not too worried about it. I think a lot of people are just waiting for legalization, and then I think we'll see some massive buying pressure. So I'm just content to buy and hold this. Though, the Sundial article is interesting, but they're not necessarily saying anything too new. They're kind of just talking about what we already know it looks like, right? I think Sundial is probably going to be a better one than Aurora anyways. I do hold both of them, but it's not necessarily news coming out for Sundial. They're just analyzing the two. So yeah, I'm bullish on Sundial, but more so over the long term, right? And we're going to have to wait. You never know when the catalyst is going to come that's going to break us out of this downtrend. At any point, we could start to see an uptrend. But I think that the real uptrend and the real pump are going to start with legalization. So that's what I'm watching for with Sundial. So for our Proof Official, bought Sense Bio at 0.84. I was making over 1K the other day, but holding it long term. I feel it's a good stock to keep an eye on. Waiting for FDA approval. It dropped from $6 plus. Just sharing. Yeah. Waiting on FDA approval. That is interesting. As long as they're waiting, right? If they haven't been denied FDA approval, that's good. And Johnny T says, I'm asking because I saw a post on Reddit, someone saying to place $1,000 sell orders to prevent the short sellers from having shares available to manipulate the stock. Wasn't sure, so just thought I'd ask. Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. It might not be a bad thing to do. Maybe you do want to place some $1,000 sell orders. Yeah, $1,000 I'd be happy to sell it for, so no harm in it, I suppose. Johnny Overman, thank you. Keep up the good work. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And you also said if PROG can end green today, that would be huge. Wednesday and Thursday are always down. Yeah, that would be really good for PROG. I think it will actually be attainable because now we've built in $4 as a support, and we ended yesterday with PROG at $3.99. So I think, or $3.98 maybe, but I think, we can probably beat that. We can definitely end in the green as long as we're able to maintain $4. That's going to be the tough part. You can see we've already struggled with it a little bit. Now we are rebounding upwards a little bit. Hopefully that will continue. Let's take a look at Fami because we are in that trade right now. 38 cents. Nice. So we've made some money. We've made $23. Not the most, but we're not trying to trade huge on stream. It seems like a lot of pressure. But thoughts on day trading METX? METX. Let's take a look. We'll replace Fami with it for a second. And we'll also put in a sell order for Fami at 39 or 38.5. There we go. We'll sell those. Just collect a little profit on Fami. We're not trying to be too greedy. We wouldn't need to pump up that much to to make us happy, right? Doesn't need to get that high. Just a little bit more, and then we would be willing to sell Fami, right? We weren't in this for a massive pump up, right? We were potentially going to 35, but we were selling with a 1 cent stop loss, so 1.5 risk reward, not bad. METX, so yeah, we'll take a look at that. All right. METX, I see no double candles. How can you day trade this without a blindfold? I can't catch a wave on it. For me, your thoughts, Rob, on METX? See, I tend to... It tends to be my opinion that I don't want to get in on a stock that I just heard about. DWAC was an exception because it was debuting and it had an amazing catalyst, so I did end up getting in on it. But I typically like to watch stocks for a little bit and understand how they trade, watch them for a couple of days before I actually end up taking a position. Just because I think every trader is different, and maybe some can just start looking at a stock and look at the chart, instantly know what to do with it. But it looks like we are building up a little bit of a support at 43. I tend to value support levels very, very highly. And, potentially if I saw this dipping down to 44 and I was more familiar with the stock, I'd be comfortable buying it, hoping for a bounce off of support again. But it looks like the bounces have been getting less and less significant, so potentially not, right? You can see that when we first bounced up, we bounced up to 49. Then the next bounce off of 44 was up to 47. Then the next was up to 46. So if we were to hit 44 again, we might actually be moving to the downside. So I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about METX. I'm not going to be trading it. But, if you know the stock and you're comfortable with the patterns, then no downside to trading it. No downside as opposed to trading any other stock, right? It is up quite a bit, so it could potentially be moving down in a big way, right? As it has today. You can see it's moving down in a fairly big way today. So maybe you'd be more lucky playing it to the short side. But I'm not too sure about METX. Long-term downtrend, it looks like it's in a very short-term downtrend right here as well. It was down from 70 cents down to 45. So I probably wouldn't be looking to take a long position on it unless you saw some big momentum moving it up. Maybe you could get in on momentum to the upside potentially. But yeah, agreed on METX. That's what I'm thinking. So Jason Cropper, could you do a review on BKKT as well when you get a sec? Yes, BKKT. We have been looking at this a bit. So it has been doing well today. And I forget exactly what the catalyst with BKKT was. Let me pull that up because this is a big one. A lot of people... Yeah, okay. So MasterCard deal and Fiserv deal of broadened use of crypto and payments. Yeah, so BKKT crypto payments. That's what's pumping this one. So very promising, considering the fact, I'll pull up Coinbase market cap, considering the fact that cryptos are near all-time highs. Any stock involved with cryptos, you can see Bitcoin's near 59,000. Or 58,000 now. It's lost a little bit, but you can see we're near all-time highs. So anything to do with cryptos is doing pretty well, and that's likely fueling this BKKT pump. But yeah, it is new. So the fact that it is up from 767, saw 60 before dumping, and is now gaining some support at 20 is nice. I'd be wary of it, right? If I did see it moving below 20, that's likely when I would be looking to put a stop loss, maybe at 19, right? If we were able to break 20 as support, that would be an indication that we're probably going to move further to the downside. But if we do continue moving up, then you could ride the wave for a little bit, potentially, right? I'm not going to get in on, like I said before, I tend to not trade stocks that I've just recently heard about. I think I heard about this one yesterday. But I would like to see how it trades for a bit and build up some more ideas of where there are support and resistance levels. I will put a line at $20 though, just because that looks like it's established itself fairly well. We had a gap through 20 initially over here, and then we ended up finding some support in pre-market, and even today a little bit. We found a little bit of support. Didn't quite hit 20, but that's actually good. We don't want to see ourselves hitting the actual line every time, just getting close. So the fact that we're bouncing off of that is nice. Who knows how much fuel is left in this fire, though? I couldn't say. So, METX has great dips and massive volume. Thanks for all your insight and hard work, says Ron. Yes, you're welcome, man. And I'm glad to be doing this because, it's trading is it's working out your brain like you work out any muscle. Not that your brain is a muscle, but it works out your brain similar to how you work out muscles. And I think that it's very important to be doing this on the regular to keep yourself sharp And let's take a look at Fami. Actually, speaking of trades, I forgot about that one. So we're getting very close to that little limit, right? This is just a fun little trade that we're taking. Hopefully, we can move up just a little bit more, just to squeeze out a little bit more profit. We're up $25. Not that that's anything, but it's just a fun trade to take on stream. So that's what we're looking at with Fami. But yeah, no, I think that it's important, to even take these little trades that are pretty much nothing, right? Like this is a $700 trade, so even if the whole thing went to zero, big deal, right? I've lost and gained that much on DWAC. I'm up $500. It looks like Fami just executed a little bit, sold 95 of the Fami shares. So let's actually lower this a little bit, just a touch, just to get the rest of them to execute. Hopefully that will do it. All right, we sold a couple more. We sold 3 more, and it looks like we are continuing to sell. We sold 8. I'm sure if we move this down like 2, then we can actually just sell this thing, and I don't care about the pennies. So, all right, we're getting very close, very close. I almost feel like I'm driving the price of Fami down by doing this. All right, we're getting very close. Let's just get that thing to execute so it can get off the radar. I don't like having these odd numbers of shares like 1,894. Not my favorite. Okay, let's just sell this freaking thing for 840. There we go. Nice. Sold all 2,000 of them. So we ended up making a $28 profit. Not bad for just a couple of minutes. Better than working minimum wage. That's what I always say. So made a couple hours worth of minimum wage right there. That'll buy lunch and dinner. So very nice. But I'm still holding, and it looks, yeah, of course, as soon as I sell, it's moving up. But Jim Haney says, I have made a nice little nest egg by taking those scalp trades. $100 here, $200 there, and poof, pay cash for a new car. Yeah, man. You see it. I mean, you just watched it live. That's $25 in just a little bit. So if you just keep taking those little scalps, they're kind of easy to identify, right? When you know the stock well, and you can tell that 37 is likely going to act as a support. We set our stop loss down at 36. It was a good risk reward. It made sense to take that little trade right there. I didn't want to put too much capital into it just because, we're on stream and it could be some pressure. But Jordan Israel Peterson says, bro, I do it for that exact trading reason. The money is a necessity, which is always available. Thank God. Yeah. No, we are very lucky, I will say, to live during the time that we do when we have access to all of this stuff, to just these platforms, to being able to make money like this online rather easily. It's something that people haven't had in the past ever, essentially, right? They didn't have the ability to just work from home like this, to make, $20 like the snap of a finger. And, if you were to put more capital in, it's the kind of thing that scales. You can see with DWAC, we're up $582 on the day, 5,800 overall time. So it's the kind of thing that does scale. The more capital you have, the more you can put into it, the more you can make. So it's very good. 8 minutes lunch drops coming. Yeah, very possible. I mean, we'll be dropping a lot. We'll be dropping the stream at least. So we will be dropping during lunch, at least the stream. Not necessarily the stocks. We'll see. We'll have to see about the stocks. But PROG is doing decently well, right? We started moving down. We didn't even get close to 4. We got to 406 before we started moving up. 407 actually on a decently sized green bar. We're gonna have to see what happens with it. We're moving back down to 4 on this one. It looks like we'll see. We'll see with PROG. It's looking good. I'm confident in PROG though. We have held 4 very well. There are a lot of big catalysts for it. I don't think that people want PROG to crash. So I'm bullish on PROG. I think it's a good one. It looks like one of the most promising ones at the moment, right? You can see that it is right behind DWAC, PROG on the poll that we've got. We have 99 votes. 43% of people think DWAC is the most bullish today. 23% think it's PROG. 21% say PHUN, PHUN, and the other 12% say Fami, FAMI. So we have 100 votes, so that actually equates to each percentage point is 1 vote. So 43 people are saying DWAC, 24 say PROG, 12 say Fami, 21 say PHUN. So that's interesting. I'm interested to hear why you guys think that, because I think DWAC, this is almost a bad question, which stock is the most bullish. I guess I did end it by saying today. But over the midterm, I think DWAC makes the most sense. But PROG also is looking very bullish today. DWAC has been up pretty big today as well, though. Fami as well. All these stocks have potential. PHUN, I'll pull up in the bottom right, is still up the highest percentage percentage points of any of them. So up 15% on PHUN. So people who voted for that are technically correct. Fami is up 10%, so it's actually number 2. DWAC is only slightly beating PROG. It's at 4.84. PROG is at 3.51. And yeah, Fami is starting to pop off a little bit. Lunch pump on Fami going, then they will be out at 12. Get ready to sell if day trading 4 minutes. Yeah, I decided to sell a little bit early at around 38. Just because, I like to take quick profits. I trade scared, man, most of the time. Jim Haney, you kids and your computers. I used to have to drive down to my broker and give him cash, then read the Wall Street Journal to see where my position was. Yeah, that's how it was done way back then, man. Very lucky now that we can just do it from our rooms. Very convenient. Very convenient. Okay, and Johnny T, just confirmed with my ML broker. They cannot lend my shares if I have an open sell order. So placed my sell at 1K. Nice. That's awesome. And it looks like this stream has 135 likes. Let's see if we can't get that to 140. It would be nice to get that to 140 before the end of the stream. I think we were able to do that yesterday as well. So if we could boost that up to 140, that would be much appreciated. We have 122 viewers, so it seems very possible that we could get 5 of them to like the stream. That would be very nice. 140 likes would be a nice way to end the stream. We would hopefully continue to see increases in the number of people watching. We have 137, so we are moving up a little bit. But the hope is to get a couple more people coming into the streams regularly. I could probably do a better job of actually setting the streams to schedule at a certain time so you guys can see them ahead of time and join the weight room or whatever. And I will work on that. That's something I haven't done yet, but I plan to. I plan to do that as these streams become a bit more regular. I just don't know exactly what time I'll be starting them, because typically, the goal is to start them at 9, but sometimes I'm a little bit late, and today I think it was like 9:10 or something like that. So we're at 140 likes. Thank you guys very much. That's awesome to see that we got there before the end of the stream. We've only got a couple more minutes. We might stay a little bit late if something interesting starts to happen, but around 12, stuff starts to slow down. So Jason Cropper says, thanks for all your prompt responses and straight shooting analysis. We'll be recommending your channel to others. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I think, word of mouth is one of the best ways to spread stuff. When you find something good, I believe in spreading it by word of mouth. So I always try to do that. With stocks, that's what this channel's about. I do try to spread good stocks that I'm looking into at the moment. So that's what I'm doing with DWAC and PROG and even Fami as well. PHUN as well I will cover. I'm not in PHUN, but it is promising, right? It could move up with DWAC. I'm not opposed to it moving up. It is up the most out of all the stocks today. So we'll have to see if it ends the day that way. But PHUN is definitely a little bit more volatile than the other Trump pumps. So KTC says, you're doing great. Thanks for starting these streams. I enjoy this community, as do I, man. This is a very enjoyable community. I've definitely learned a lot, even just over the past couple of days doing these from you guys. So thank you guys very much. I definitely enjoy this community. Might have to get some kind of outside of YouTube thing going, maybe a Discord or something like that, because it would be useful to have this going, not just while the streams are active from 9 to 12, but a 24-hour thing. A lot of the time, news can come out for a stock at strange hours, at like 6 o'clock or earnings and that kind of stuff. So we might try to get some outside of YouTube community going on Discord or something like that. We'll see. Okay, out on Fami, didn't hold 1K profit. I'll ping-pong it tomorrow. Good patterns. Yeah. Yep. Fami, it's getting stuck at 39, it looks like, and lunch is coming up in 2 minutes, so we'll see what happens with it. Thanks a lot. I've been learning so much, says Paola H. Yep, that's the goal here. That's the goal. We're trying to just, my goal is to spread, what I've learned, because I spent years doing this, and I've definitely learned a lot. I definitely lost money in the beginning, and it was tough and wasted a lot of time just trying things that didn't necessarily work. So I'm just trying to show you guys what I've done that works. And, through the streams, I'm sure I'll become better at doing that. Right now, I'm still trying to figure out what the best way to convey information is. So thoughts on Fami delisting, says Ron. And then Johnny T, I'll read your comment. The Fami just caught my eye. I've heard about the Fami delisting. I think it does need to get to above $1 at some point in the next maybe 80 or 90 days. Let me search that up. Okay, here's actually a Reddit post. I'm not sure why that's coming up first, but We'll pull this up. Fami to $1 and beyond. This is 26 days ago. Possible delisting from NASDAQ. Who knows the date? If we can't reach $1 mark, Fami gets delisted, but I don't know when this could happen. Does someone know more about it? I'm scared that the shares are not tradable after possible delisting. November 30th plus 180 days after that if they get extension. Okay. $1 plus soon. Here's why, and then someone breaks it down. All right, so it looks like November 30th is the answer if that Reddit user is to be believed, hopefully. We'll see. We'll see if that ends up being the case. Hopefully they can get an extension, though, because there's no telling if it will actually burst to above $1 by November 30th. That's getting pretty close. Have you heard of any news about firm merger date between TMTG and DWAC? I've not actually heard when those will be merging. I've not heard that, but I am more so just bullish on DWAC. I'm not necessarily going to even be holding until the merger. I'm holding until it gets to my price target. So hopefully we'll be moving up in a significant way, not off of the merger even, right? That I've seen mergers go south sometimes. If anyone is watching the stream, if anyone's around in the days when the channel was covering SPRT, that was a horrific merger. Hopefully DWAC will be better. I'm sure it will be better than SPRT. That was a really bad merger with GREE, but I'm more so just holding this off of the pump potential than waiting for the merger. I may end up adding some to my longer term account, right? I've sold put contract at $80, $80 strike price. So I'm expecting that it will move up above 80, but if it doesn't, then I'm willing to hold the put contract in my Robinhood. And then, through expiration, I guess I would get the shares if it ends below $80. So we'll see. That's November 19th. So we'll see if I end up holding in my Robinhood for the long term. So Stephen Osinki says, given that you're a student with inherent academic demands, offering your time, wisdom, and efforts, much appreciated, my friend. Well, thank you very much. I love to do it, and it's really good for me as well, right? Learning is often best facilitated through teaching. I found, just being in class and whatnot. Oftentimes, if there's a problem that I understand somewhat well, if someone asks me about it, and I then help explain it to them, I then understand the problem much better myself. The same is true with the market, I think. So, making these videos is also keeping me accountable. Doing these streams, spending the time actually watching the stocks instead of getting tired and end up wasting time doing something non-productive on YouTube. I think is very productive, very good for me. So I'm glad to have you guys here keeping me accountable. So thank you, Stephen. And Johnny T, true about mergers, what we need is a Trump rally. Yeah, that's what we want. We really want to see Trump pumping this thing up. DWAC, it wants Trump. It wants Trump to pump this. So I'm hopeful for it. And it looks like we're getting close to the end of the stream. So, 12:02, we're getting close to lunch. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. I'll end the poll real quick. It looks like DWAC won the poll with 112 votes. 43% of people think DWAC will be the most bullish on the day. So that's what we've got. And we have gotten very many likes and all that. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining the stream. Hope to see you guys tomorrow and all weekdays. So, Steven, good for you, man. I respect your selflessness and integrity. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank all of you. Thanks, everyone. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye, guys.